Rubber.
Is
Start
is
streaming,
Joy
bro.
Boy gonna do introductions?
Bro, I don't.
I mean, he'll probably do
I mean,
that
I can introduce people just fine.
Yeah, I would just rather you go down the line and just, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be madness
I'll
if you
organize
don't.
this.
Yeah, don't let us talk because we're gonna be here for.
Yeah, we'll get off topic.
We are 10
Yeah,
seconds
do
in.
you want to tweet it so we can all retweet it?
Sure.
Yeah, that
before
would
we
be a
get before we get to that though, real quick, DRIZZT, are you still in here? Because I got a question for you, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Jonathan Valdez in the chat was saying that you said that I beg for views. So when's this beat video coming, man?
You.
Uncover that dirt.
Yo, listen, I'm surprised that you already have access to the Void Sentry because that stream was deleted.
There is no voice sentry on YouTube.
Hands down, one of the funniest streams I've ever heard on YouTube. I was listening to it last night. Joy Boy's fake theory and everything. It was amazing.
Oh my god.
It was a good time.
Oh man.
Wait, it's saying it's live.
We're live.
Yeah, we are.
Oh,
we
we're
are
live.
Live.
Hey,
Live.
let's go.
Look at that.
We're fucking here.
All right, what is up, people? How's everybody doing?
Matt, we couldn't even make it 15 minutes.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Hey, it's always me. It's always me. My bad.
All right, let's start it off. All right, the first question that we have today is we want to talk about our general thoughts on Whole Cake Island and a little introduction of each of everybody's in right now. So let's start off with Rogersbase. Rogersbase, who are you and what do you think about Wano right now?
I'm a Nintendo YouTuber and I think Wano is dope.
Short and sweet.
Very accurate.
Yeah, right to it.
Matt B, you're up.
Damn.
I'm the Togashi of the One Piece community. I pop up whenever I feel like it, and then I disappear to go play Dragon Quest. So yeah.
Yo, I've been playing Dragon Quest recently, and my God, is it beautiful.
Oh, that game is great.
Should we expect a hiatus soon from you, Joe Boy?
It's infectious.
If that was a mobile game, you could
I'm about to
expect
trigger
that
all the
JBL
Hunter
is
Hunter
mobile.
fans.
Oh, don't do that.
All right, Brago, what's up?
What's
He's a hoe.
poppin'? Yo, bro, we gonna fight, dog.
Oh, boy.
But nah, on my channel talk about One Piece. But as far as what I think about Wano so far, it's been good. Great setup so far. I think it could be amazing right now.
Is bordering on that next level. DRIZZT, you're up.
Okay, wait, what was the question?
What are your general thoughts about Wano and who are you?
Oh, okay, yeah, I totally forgot. Yeah, so literally, I forgot. So yeah, I'm DRIZZT, formerly known by DRIZZT the Theorist. I would consider myself the Dark Knight of the One Piece community because no one knows that they need a cynic until they listen to me complain about Oda's writing.
Jesus Christ.
No, but my overall thoughts of Wano is that I think Wano is pretty solid. It started off pretty slow, in my opinion, in terms of like the tone. But I feel like Wano has enough potential that it should easily be a top 5 arc by the end of it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Nux, the man of the hour. First time you've ever been in a stream with all One Piece YouTubers. What's up?
Yeah, it's pretty terrifying. I only know like 3 of you. Hey, nice to meet everyone. I do anime videos.
What up, Nux? What up?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm great.
I know Spooky
Great start,
though, and
guys.
he doesn't seem to know anyone either, so that makes me feel a little more comfortable.
Okay, whatever,
we're in
Nux.
this
Yeah, that's
together.
fine.
We're in this together.
Yeah. No, look, I know 3 of you. It's very exciting.
No, it's fine. It's whatever.
Just hang out,
Whatever,
just
man.
hang out in the Brago Discord.
Bro.
You'll figure it out.
Bro, we had a Twitter chat
sure.
for an entire month.
Yeah, and it was all basically memes. So.
No, this is true.
But that's your thing.
Yeah, I know, but no one seemed to be memeing except for Joy Boy. It's like, guys, let's revive the chat with some One Piece memes, and everyone else was like, whatever.
That's probably due to the fact that there were like 3 different Reverie chat groups on Twitter.
Mm.
Plus, there's already a bunch of different group chats that it's like way too hard to keep up.
Yo, Nux, so what are your thoughts about Wano right now? How you feeling?
Well, I'm loving Wano so far. I feel like the beginning of both part 1 and part 2 were a little bit slow, but I'm so hyped for what's happening, I don't even care.
Zoro, what's up?
Hey, it's Zorofanboy124. What's up, guys? Wano's been good. It's just like every arc we get into it, and it's a little slow. It's just introducing the world, introducing the islands. It's kind of how Oda does things. So I'm not complaining about the beginning. I just want to see some more Zoro action. You know how I am. So I don't want to see this. I don't want to see the race. I've seen enough of Sanji, right? We've seen this.
No, we haven't. No, we
I
haven't.
have
We haven't.
I have a strange feeling we're going to see more Zoro in this arc with the samurai. Just a stranging.
I hope so. That's what I would think, right?
Yeah.
Well,
So maybe the Zoro fans get trolled for once.
What do you mean? He hasn't got a legitimate fight in the New World.
All right. We're with the introduction.
Zoro, maybe his fight is going to be against Sanji because Sanji left the crew, and Zoro really he wants to fight with Sanji, and I need to see who's more powerful.
Don't meme that. People actually.
I'm dodging that so hard.
I'm not even gonna touch that.
Matt, save us.
Slide.
Which Matt?
Tekking.
Yeah. Which Matt?
I am officially just changing my name to Tekking legally in this stream, so just to have at it. You go ahead, yeah.
So what's up? What do you think about Wano right now? And who are you?
Oh, me?
Yeah, Tekking.
Okay,
come on.
There we go. Thank
the
you.
program.
I'm Tekking. I talk about One Piece. I'm actually officially a YouTube old man because I've been on the platform for 10 years this year. So that's terrifying. I know.
That's insane.
That's OG status.
Yeah. My favorite thing about Wano so far, Kaido is a dragon, and Kaido is a dragon. So once you start off an arc with that, I think we can just break through the atmosphere and just keep on breaking through layers. It's going to get more hype from here. I think Act 3 is when most of the fights are going to happen, and just holding off until that. It's going to be fun.
Spooky.
Lit.
What's up, Spooky?
Yes, I am here. Hopefully everyone can hear me. I'm really loving Wano so far, let me just say. And you might know me as the fact guy. I talk about a lot of different anime, but One Piece is my favorite. And as far as like my place in the One Piece community, I've probably just dipped my big toe into the pool that I know nothing about. So it's a pleasure to be here. Pleasure to meet all of you.
Same.
Hey, you'll be all right. We did that Frankie Jeopardy thing a while back. You did pretty solid there.
Too,
yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. You stomped me, but
it's okay.
It was a great time.
All right, Eric.
You were a worthy opponent.
Hello, I am Eric, one half of the Red Force podcast. We are new to YouTube, but I think we're joining the community pretty well. What do I think about Wano? Man, this is going to be the hypest arc of all time. Look forward to Emperors finding each other and Luffy finally taking out an Emperor. That's all I gotta say.
Banso.
All right, so we got everyone. I am so quick to forget people. We everybody who's in here, right, has made their introductions already. I assume. All right, going once.
No, I haven't.
Matt has.
I haven't.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I was confused about it. Like, I was like,
go ahead.
I was joking. I made an introduction.
Oh, did
Come
you?
on, man. You're confusing the shit out of me.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so we're good now. All right, so let's get into those heavy topics. Brago is here. We are ready to go. Let's talk about Sanji. All right, Sanji is raid suit. Is it too early? Page 1.
Yes.
Let's get the juice.
Yes.
Okay.
Here we go. Brago. I've been waiting for this.
Let's do it. Let's talk about
The
Sanji.
floor is
All right,
yours,
man.
sir.
Well, here, man. I disagree with him using the raid suit right now.
Come on, Matt,
Yep.
bro. Come on.
What? Look, okay. Listen.
No, Matt, trust me, I'm right there with you.
The
Bro.
only-
I admit it is
You
a
said
little
right
bit.
now. You said right now. So you say
yes.
you
let
say
me
right
explain
now.
myself.
Okay.
Right now,
Okay.
here, right now. Okay,
That's
so whenever chapter 903, he's like, yo, I don't want to have anything to do with that family. I don't want to have
Exactly.
anything to do with them at all.
Right.
So then he,
It's a lot. She said a bit more, but I'll let you rock. Go ahead.
whatever. He throws the raid suit to Luffy and Chopper. So I'm assuming, I was assuming that Chopper was gonna have it. All right. So now we fast forward to 9:30 or whatever it is. The first fight I think everyone that reads One Piece knew that Sanji was gonna use the raid suit at some point during Wano. I don't think that anyone is arguing with that. But for him to use it the first opportunity that he gets a chance to, And I know he's using it for the sake of hiding.
Disguising. Yeah.
But even that, no. But time out. Even that,
I feel like he's
I've
just.
heard that a lot. People have been like, "Oh, he's using it as a disguise." Do you really think? Do you honestly think that Kaido isn't going to recognize Vinsmoke technology? Sanji's bounty poster says Sanji Vinsmoke on it. He's going to put on a Vinsmoke raid suit. It's going to give him away. Like,
He's debunking that Niji modified it so it looks so ridiculous they would never connect it back to the Vinsmokes.
I'd be fine with that. That would actually be amazing if they did that.
I think we all agree that
Depends what the suit looks like. It depends what the suit looks like.
Exactly.
It depends on what it looks like.
I mean,
Thematically,
just to
you
throw
have
that
to,
out there,
like-
right? He had a mask as a child. It'd be kind of a sick joke, but for him to wear that old mask,
If he has a mask,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that would kind of like loop back around, like it actually ended up saving him or helping him out in a weird, messed up way. Yeah.
Using the raid suit now, you have to infer that he's kind of over his family troubles.
Yeah, but I mean, he went 180.
Well, the thing is, I don't think
he's
he's over. He's not over it. I don't think it was a 180 because he's not using it to get stronger. He said in 903, "I will never use this to get stronger." He never said, "I will never use it."
No,
he viewed it as a gimmick when he was talking like when Frankie with his nipple lights. He looked at it like that way. He said, "Yo, this is a gimmick. I'm not going to use this to get stronger." And this is the perfect scenario because he's not using it to get stronger. He's using it because it's a disguise. So I don't think there's anything wrong with him using the raid suit.
May I pose a brief question here? Do you think Sanji has actually tried it out before to see what it is? Because it seems rather weird that it's just like, you know what? I don't even know what this is, but I'm going to try it out.
I wouldn't say that he's never tried it before. I'm pretty sure
they might have tested it when he was a kid or something. He knows what it does.
Maybe from that, like he's seen it. And he obviously could go off of what the other Vinsmokes are. I just there's a big, gap there from 903. He's like, I'm not gonna, I don't like this. And now all of a sudden he's like, I'm super confident in using it.
He's confident that it's a disguise. I mean, he wouldn't seem confident if he doesn't already know what it is.
I think he should know what it is. Yeah.
He's gonna have a mask on.
I would like to see Luffy be a little hesitant though to put on the suit though. Like it's the only thing I have a problem with.
At all.
Yeah.
Why would he be hesitant? Why would he do that at the chapter with him like looking at the suit? Like I guess I don't want to use it, but I guess I have to. That would have been better.
Why is that necessary?
I would have liked that more, yeah.
I think, to be fair, he's extremely hyped. He's fighting an actual opponent, not Noodle Guy. He's like, what? Am I getting a real fight? Hell yeah, raids, dude.
I mean, it's going to be like 6
How
pages.
long has it been?
Look, guys, I don't know why you're saying this is his first fight of Wano. He beat those street thugs a few chapters ago. Come on.
That's right.
It's his first major fight. So it's actually going to be tested.
Is it?
Like how long ago? How long has it been?
The last fight.
The last person he clashed was with Daifuku.
I just want to throw this out here, right?
No, but I mean,
do we know
really
page one's gender?
Okay, then Luffy then? That doesn't even really count.
Hold on,
Luffy and Daifuku doesn't count.
What were you saying, Joy Boy?
Do we know page one's gender? Because that makes that fight so
Okay, so
much
please no, please don't get into this. I did my live reaction on Monday, and all the people in the chat were like, page one is a woman. And everybody was saying it in a way that I thought it was a fact. So I had to go back and reread the chapter. And I'm like, where are you guys getting this from?
Why is it every time
her hair? I mean, it's
every time
we don't know, though.
Yo, he's not wearing lipstick, so he's not female. You know how it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
then again, I think a Spinosaur with lipstick would be kind of less intimidating, but okay.
A little much, yeah.
Not if he breaks out Reiju's raid suit and then fights with the Okama powers. That'd be amazing.
I would find that's the best case scenario.
Exactly.
Every time a new character's involved in the story, the community is like, "Yo, it's a woman. It has to be." I'm like, "All right, I don't get it."
I think it's just based on the fact page one has long hair and the fact they showed up, already in their full form.
I mean, we just don't know, right? Why would we?
We don't.
Yo, so we have a new member of the stream right now, CHIBI Reviews. Introduce yourself, man.
What's up? Most of you probably know me, but make sure to subscribe to my boy Joy Boy here. He's a good man for having me on. Thank you guys for having me here. I do appreciate it.
Yo. All right. So I just wanted to. So what are your thoughts about this Sanji? We're talking about Sanji right now. Sanji versus page one. Sanji in general portrayal since I guess the New World. What are your thoughts?
Well, like everybody has already said, I think Sanji. This is his first true 1v1 in a long time. I don't count Daifuku or Luffy versus Sanji. I don't count that. This is his first true fight, and I think his raid suit. I've been saying, I said in my review, I think his rates is going to be more of a joke. I don't know. I have a feeling. Right? I have a feeling, knowing how his family was and how they constantly trolled him or picked on him. I feel like his raid suit's just going to be a straight up joke. It's either going to be feminine or it's just going to be hilarious. Where Sanji doesn't want to be seen.
I think it's time. I think it's time for Sanji to actually like become confident, call Sanji again. Because it's been a while.
Well, let me just ask one thing, because you guys seem confident it's going to be a one-on-one fight, but it's very clear that, I mean, to me at least, that this is not going to go on for a while.
Zoro, it's going to be like, it's going to be 5 pages. It's going to be pretty quick.
So I just want to throw this out here. Everyone says that this the raid suit is too soon, but I mean, if you compare this to other power-ups, we assume the raid suit's going to be some kind of power-up. Like Luffy in Gear 2nd, before he fought Lucci, fodderized Bluno. So is that kind of what we are seeing?
So you're saying that page 1 is Bluno from the bar. That's what I'm hearing you say, man.
If the fight does happen, I don't think that we're gonna see it.
I think people are saying it's too soon because like everyone expected a massive emotional moment for Sanji to actually use the suit, and this is kind of just like, I'm using it now, which is everyone's kind of disappointed in that, I think.
It does feel a little bit too quick.
How much would it be like blue balls if Oda doesn't actually do it? He's like, I'm gonna do it, and then he just gets dragged off screen or something.
Well, see, I think how it's gonna happen, and I think it's for the sake of like preserving the raid suit. For later on in the arc. I think if we just come back, we start the chapter off, or after when we finally do see the outcome of the fight, page 1 is just defeated. He's just knocked out on the ground.
We're getting off screen? All right.
And
everybody's like,
I hope not, man. Look, the Kaido's pirates, the Beast pirates have been weak so far, man. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, but these are supposed to be like the 6 strongest ones.
They have?
Outside of the calamities, yeah.
Yeah, they're supposed to be right below the calamities.
Come on, man. Are you kidding me?
I think Whole Cake Island.
They haven't fought anybody of note, really.
Yeah, I think
and the thing is,
I'm just saying, like, if you compare them to Big Mom pirates, even like some of the weaker members were still important.
But the thing is, Luffy's doing that to anybody in the enraged army.
One-shotting.
Yeah.
One-shotting people, like not even going like serious.
He would one-shot the Crane Brothers, that's for sure.
Yeah. That's what I compare them to.
Somebody in the chat brought something up real quick too on the topic of our page 1 discussion. It's that page 1 is referred to as a sir in the official translation.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Is he?
Yeah,
you guys don't read
Hina is referred to as sir too.
Yeah, I've seen female officers referred to as sir sometimes. Yeah.
And also, you're forgetting this is Wano too. Remember? Yeah. They have more of a outlook on men than women too, because women are not as appreciated.
That's true.
Yeah, I remember that.
We'll find out. I'm sure we'll find out. It won't be much longer. Yeah.
I think the whole thing about page 1 being a woman, Sanji having a revelation about his chivalry now, doesn't really fit. So it's kind of like, all right.
Well, I mean,
it's a weird.
It just seems like there's so much going on that this would be a really awkward time to make that a point.
Well, here's what they could do. They could set it up now. The fight could get interrupted. He could get pulled away, and then page 1's kind of like Sanji's rival for the rest of Wano. And then we cut to like the final.
He did kick Big Mom, so he's already been there.
Yeah. Well, does Big Mom? Yeah. Big Mom is more of like.
What are you trying to say, Matt?
Big Mom is sort of more like. Well, Sanji said it himself. Iron balloons. So look at it like more like
Big Mom's not ticking speed. If you get my drift,
Yeah, nah. Well,
Yo, so next up we have Zoro. What do you guys think about Zoro and Wano? And
this is his arc. This is his arc.
It's not his arc. People can stop saying it's his arc because it's not his arc.
And I think it's his arc because I know
why you gotta be that guy right now, man? Come on, don't kill our moment, man.
It's not his arc, but it's not his arc. It's Luffy's arc.
It is his arc because it's samurai.
Listen, his name is Zoro. He's like a samurai. Boom, done, solved.
Yeah, seriously.
In all seriousness, guys, this is an arc that's very important for him because he has to become the greatest samurai eventually, the greatest swordsman.
And he has to fight
samurais here. He needs to have to fight.
He's got to fight Jack at some point. Not Jack and Mammoth, Samurai.
I think he's gonna be Kyoshiro. I think he's fighting Kyoshiro personally. That's my.
I disagree with that. I actually think Zoro's going to fight Shutenmaru. I think Zoro's going to be the guy who turns Shutenmaru.
I'm glad you said that. That's what I was saying.
I didn't think about that.
That's why he'll join them.
I think Kyoshiro is more intimidating personally. I think like the thing about Shutenmaru is that he needs someone to look up to and respect to follow, right? So
I
if
think
he
it's
sees Zoro,
I think it's gonna be Zoro. Exactly. Don't you think that would be like the perfect?
I don't think he needs.
It would make sense.
I think that it's Luffy.
I think it's Luffy, not Zoro.
That Shootenmaru's gonna look up to. It's gonna be Luffy.
Because I'm still thinking about Zoro's sword, right? He's got Ryuma's sword, so I'm feeling like Shootenmaru is going to fight him using Ryuma's sword, and he's going to be like, wait a minute. You are actually able to use this sword? Maybe you're the person I've been waiting for.
Well, Zoro should mirror Odin in the way that he got Shootenmaru on his side in the first place, so they should fight.
Shootenmaru is not looking for
sure.
strong people. He's looking for strong people to inspire the people as well. He's not just looking for strength. He's looking past that as well.
Also,
Zoro's literally using the sword of like the samurai's like idol, someone that they admire who saved the entire country. If Zoro basically could be a symbolic person for that
exactly. Even actually if he stands up to Kaido too, someone that's like their god standing up. So I mean, Zoro standing up to all of them, standing up to like the Calamity, standing up to Kaido.
Smart already saw Luffy kind of stand up to Kaido, and
I'm sure, obviously he was beaten down, but that impacted the populace in some way to see someone just punch Kaido out of the sky.
I'm sure the fandom would think Zoro would block that mace because they love Zoro so much.
No one's blocking that mace.
I don't think.
Very short-lived dragon.
Even if Zoro blocked the mace, he wouldn't block the mace.
Yo, Shanks is blocking that mace. You know what I mean?
That's
what I'm saying.
All the other Yonko
are. Even I wouldn't say he'd block that mace.
No, he's not.
You don't think Shanks is blocking the mace?
Oh, of course he is.
I think Shanks could block the mace. Yeah.
Shanks is the God King. Everyone knows that.
Shanks sent Kaido packing the Marineford. So
yes,
he can handle him.
That mace is like the insta kill button for pretty much everybody else.
Back on Shootenmaru, he's already interested in Luffy and his Conqueror's Kaki, so I think that's where the plot of that's going.
That's where it's going.
Or we could have best of both worlds. Shootenmaru will want Zoro and Luffy. Zoro will head to fight him, get lost on the way, and he'll end up following.
I think that Zoro is Luffy's subordinate. That's going to be even more interesting. Saying, you're following him, like somebody like you. Yeah,
right. We're focusing a lot on Shootenmaru, obviously, because he's already been revealed. But what do you feel about the other two? Because they could be just as important as Shootenmaru.
They should be
Kawamatsu and Denjiro. Yeah.
One of them's in the that you remember all their names. Not gonna lie.
I got it nailed. I'm down.
Luffy's got to recruit the guy that's in the prison. That's clearly
I'm thinking it's Denjiro. I'm thinking it's him.
Yeah, that's one of them. I agree.
I'm thinking Kawamatsu is the Robin Hood guy from the
No.
The manslayer.
That's somebody different.
That might actually be Yasu. I have heard some theories about that. He's the chippy guy that's like following Zoro. Like, hey buddy, how you doing? It might turn out to be that guy.
Oh really? What's the theory about it?
Well, no, because he was not in the town and he kind of just ran into Zoro, and then they're heading back to the town. And right as soon as they walk into town, they're talking about the guy who just came the last night.
What about?
It could be. Don't know. It could turn out to be a real badass.
What about the street murder with the scythe? What about him? You assume he's one of them?
I think Kawamatsu. He's probably one of the samurais as well.
Yeah, he's Kawamatsu.
He's based off the Batosai.
Yeah.
So where does Tengu guy fit in all this? According to
he's a swordsmith.
He's the descendant of the original Kitetsu, who was the swordsmith. So there might be some backstory there at some point.
Interesting. You guys mentioned him earlier, though. The character to me that's really been standing out is Kyoshiro. Like, I want to know what his deal is, because with him and the stuff with what's her name, the Kamurasaki. It's like it's clear that they're planning something against the Shogun.
You made Hiyori, right? You made Hiyori.
Right, I mean Hiyori.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hiyori. Right, it's easier to say. Let's just stick with Hiyori.
Can we also call Kyoshiro napping because his first name's napping? Because
I was going to call him Kuwabara, but okay, I mean, that works.
What do you say, Kyoshiro? You're referring to the entire family?
I just mean the main guy. I think, there's clearly something going on there where Kyoshiro doesn't want to be a part of this. Like he sees the Shogun as this weakling, as this unique guy.
I think I think that just means that they're really close. That's why he makes fun of him.
I think it shows that Kyoshiro is the real deal. Like,
that's one.
Yeah. I still think Orochi's gonna fucking show dudes what's up. I don't think he's a weak piece of shit. All right.
Okay. I don't think he's a weak piece of shit, but I think it's just from the decades of him, you know, lording over Wano. It might have gone to his head a little bit, and he's just not as where he used to be.
Yeah. You know, look at Shutenmaru. He's a blimp, yet he's a Apricot Jack. So don't look into like.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
I do think it's telling though that every time we've seen Orochi, it's been in silhouette because you already know Oda's gonna have like one of the dragon heads coming out of his dick, another dragon head coming out of his belly. Like it's gonna happen, dude. That's what Oda likes to do.
I have heard so many fun theories about that. He actually has an octopus fruit, and he just puts the heads on like puppets, and he's just wiggling around. I love that one.
I was talking to DRIZZT and Joyboy about like Orochi's tail fruit, and I'm pretty sure all of his like dragon heads will have different personalities, and that will be the gag.
Oh, that would be. There has to be a gimmick. Yeah.
Like Oda, one of them hates each other, one of them's dumb, one of them's angry.
Oda goes to one of his editors, and he's like,
yeah. And they all fight each other. That'd be funny.
Oh my god.
Well, I see no parallel whatsoever between him and Orochimaru from Naruto. No parallel.
No. There's actually,
you know the 8-headed snake thing that Orochimaru
he kind of deals with
that at all.
Science.
I love that because that's back in like the halcyon days of Naruto when we thought Orochimaru was the eight-tailed beast. I love those times.
So what do you guys think about
the good news about Orochi, unlike Orochimaru, is that he is not a terrorist pedophile. Definitely a pedophile.
Well, we don't know that.
To be fair, he's constantly bringing people in and all that, all the women and stuff. I mean, we don't know what he is. He could be.
We don't know what he's
definitely a dictator and maybe a terrorist.
He's caused a lot of terror.
You can tell, like, just the way he was talking to CP0. He's super confident in his position. He's like, the only thing I need now is more power. I have everything I
need. He's also a terrorist.
Yeah, he's overconfident, I think.
Oh, yeah, way too much.
That's the only reason why he's confident.
Yeah.
So, you wanted to talk about cursed swords?
Yeah, so let's talk about the cursed swords for just a moment. Like, what do you think we're going to learn about that? What are your thoughts on that? And Zoro wielding the other Katetsu blade. And
my thoughts on that is that fucking no purpose. People gotta stop looking to these curses, all right?
Oh my!
They're just power schemes. They don't mean anything, people. They're not gonna open the gates to the underworld and summon fucking.
That's Brooks' job.
Damn, that's my theory. He's gonna get the sword and open the gates to the underworld.
I hope you're about to take that crow for that one because I'm pretty sure it's going to be important. There's no way you throw that into the story. There's no way that you make that a big deal, especially in Wano giving him another cursed sword unless something's going to happen.
And this is where the cursed swords were created. You know for a fact there's going to be something about that. It's just
bro. Yeah, he's going to get super Ashura.
Come on, dude.
Even if it's not like the point of an entire flashback, if we do like step back in time to like, because we don't know when Katetsu lived when he first made those swords. It could have been the time Lady Toki was like just in Lady Toki's backstory, we find out about the swords in the background. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Look, people think like the curses are gonna corrupt Zoro's mind and then he's gonna leave the crew. It's like
I would like for them to elaborate on the curses themselves. Like, do the swords do they have an entity living in them or around them? Like, how does that actually work?
I'm glad this is One Piece because if it would be any other anime, I could see the mangaka saying the sword itself is not cursed. It is you that possesses the power.
No, the swords are definitely cursed. Yeah,
One Piece doesn't do that very often. So.
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, maybe it's a situation where the swords, like the earlier generation, the swords are more cursed than the later ones.
Yeah. Well, if we're doing this with the legend of like Muramasa, like the cursed blade, it's like the blood of the swordsmith went into it in some way.
Exactly.
Like the sword, so it might be something like that. That's why
it could be a thing where Katetsu like went through some horrible stuff and his like emotions were poured into the blood.
Yeah, he was like this raving lunatic or something. He was psychotic, and he like made the sword and then like stabbed himself with it, and then it became I don't know.
Well, you went dark, man. Damn.
Oh, I go immediately dark.
We'd have to do it with all three of them at once, but yeah.
Commendo Sai!
I think it's just going to be a power up for Zoro, really, because it's a higher grade cursed sword than the one he's already got.
I mean, if he was going to lose any of his swords right now and upgrade with I want him to keep Shusui. There have been theories that he's going to give up Shusui because it belongs in the rifle. I don't want him to lose Shusui.
No,
he can't leave this. No.
Shusui is an actual plot point. At some point in time, that's got to come up.
It's major.
That's why it's Zoro's arc. That's why I said.
Thank you.
Yeah, bro. Zoro's arc. Do you think that he can get any backstory in Wano?
No.
Wait, a backstory?
Well,
yeah. Like I never expected Sanji to get a backstory until like the Only Alive thing started. I didn't think we were ever going to get more Sanji development, but a lot of people think that Zoro's going to have some like samurai
We don't know what
heritage or
happened with Zoro up until the point that he joined the dojo. Like that entire part of his life is completely.
I will bring this up. Zoro's whole shtick, a lot of his techniques revolve around Buddhism. He doesn't pray to a god, but he's really like Buddhism is a huge play there.
In fact, he doesn't even
supernatural in general.
Yeah, they might not do, because I don't think we're going to focus on like, oh, Ryuma was his great-great-grandfather or something, but we might do what they kind of like. Oda might spin the reincarnation shtick with it. You know?
Mihawk is his father, and he's from.
Please no, please no.
No, nothing like that.
That would be bad.
Zoro is the reincarnation of our country's hero. You know, something.
Be careful what you wish for, all right? Don't be wishing.
The one thing regarding Zoro, though, that I do think could come up during this arc is that now that Orochi has made it clear to Cypherpole that he wants Vegapunk, we know Smoker and Tashigi are with Vegapunk right now in the kids.
Yes.
So I think Tashigi could show up in Wano country, and we might get some more Tashigi Zoro action.
Tashigi's the sword nerd. She has to be in Wano.
Exactly. Yeah.
Those two should have arrived and left a good 2 weeks ago. If you think about it,
maybe they stopped for Wendy's. I don't know. They're on their way.
It's been a month. It's been a month since Punk has it, something like that.
Well, no, they didn't go. Well, no, I don't know actually where they're at.
I
have no idea.
In the present time of One Piece, it's been a while since Punk has it.
It's been a while, yeah.
Look,
man, you got to account for the time from Punk Hazard to Dressrosa, then Dressrosa. I mean, it's a while.
I wouldn't say that Smoker and Tashigi are still with Vegapunk.
No.
Why are we getting Tashigi involved in the plot? She's just gonna get one shot again.
Look, there's got to be some resolution with her and why she looks like Queen. It's weird, man. They can't just leave that there.
It is kind of
weird. Maybe she'll be a part of the squad of the Marines that goes to Wano, because I
think for sure
that'd be dope.
Oh yeah.
The Queen situation for me is very weird. I don't know.
I think there's
Smoker is the best kind of guy to do that too, because it's like the Marines are not supposed to have a presence in Wano, but Smoker would be the kind of guy that's like, you know what, we need to be there. Yeah.
Do you think the Navy are gonna Trojan horse with the ship they're bringing?
What would the Trojan horse be? I wonder.
The ship that they're bringing in for them.
Oh, right, yeah, because the battleships from the CBC.
Yeah. Trojan horse into that way. So we'll see if that happens.
I don't know about that. It's possible.
Can we please put Grimble in the story? All we've seen is his silhouette. Oda, just give me Grimble. I don't care about his armor.
We know his laughter style. It's rah ha 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 ha. That's good for a while. That's good for a while.
I mean, we might get some Fujitora, at least some Fujitora information, because he's probably from Wano, right? So
I mean, that's the weird thing about Fujitora, that they did this government draft, and there just happened to be this ridiculously powerful swordsman just somewhere in the world. He wasn't a revolutionary. He wasn't a Marine.
I don't know about you guys, but would you have preferred like someone like Momonga to get the new rank with a new Delphi or something, or would you?
I love Momonga.
They should have picked one from that was already there, and then bring somebody in.
If I could pick any vice admiral to get like a lot of character backstory, I would probably pick Momonga. He is
Momonga. Momonga's like every time Momonga's on panel, he's sweaty. Every time.
Momonga can bear my children. Okay.
All right. He likes Momonga.
I went there.
Good to know.
Wow. Before we move away from it, you guys mentioned Fujitora really quickly. Do we know why he blinded himself? We know it was like he saw some disgusting.
It was very vague. It was like I saw the evil of the hearts of men.
I mean, it might have something to do with Orochi. It might have something to do with Orochi.
That's what I was thinking. It might have something to do with like Orochi, Oden.
It might have been. It might have been the night of the massacre.
Yeah.
Wow.
We know the. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, I was just gonna say we don't know the particulars of it. We know why he did it, but not the particulars.
Turns out Fujitora's last name is like Odin Kozuki.
Yeah.
Well, it has to have something to do with pirates, right? There has to be a correlation between Fujitora's hatred of pirates and whatever it is that he saw in the world that made him blind himself.
Definitely.
Well, it's something. It has to be something related to the Shichibukai, I believe, because that's those are the pirates that he wants to get rid of.
Either that, or when he joined the Marines, he started to really see just how corrupt the whole damn system was. And then, of course, Doflamingo.
I personally am not convinced that it's just the Shichibukai. The Shichibukai are the only pirates that are legalized by the government, so that's why he would target them, even if he hated pirates in general.
I mean, maybe he joined the Marines because of his Kaido.
I almost said also he saw what happened in Dressrosa, but obviously he didn't see. But he knows what happens in Dressrosa. He saw that for himself, and so that's what he's going to use as his evidence during Reverie, to be like, this is what Doflamingo was able to pull off. Look at what Crocodile pulled off in Alabasta. We can't allow this to continue.
What do you guys think the new weapons
Did any of the samurai that were traveling along with the Straw Hats meet Fujitora in Dressrosa?
Didn't Kanema? No, yeah, when Kanema and everybody was pushing back the bird.
Oh yeah, they did.
They did. So, and he didn't recognize him.
He didn't recognize each other.
Then again, you could always view Fujitora as like the hermit kind of figure, like that strong swordsman living up on the mountain. Nobody ever talks to him really.
The birdcage is so broken that no one can even cut it.
Yeah.
Fucking birdcage.
Don't even mention that.
You know what the really messed up thing about that birdcage is? I just did a video about this a while ago. Okay, Bartolomeo's barrier stopped the king punch. It got pushed back by that damn birdcage.
I mean, the birdcage is broken. Yeah. It is broken. I mean, like Fujitora couldn't do anything. Zoro couldn't do anything.
Nobody could.
Dude, why didn't you use shambles to get everybody outside?
I mean, it was implied by Fujitora that he'd like let Luffy be the one to save everyone.
Bro, radio waves can't even escape the birdcage.
Yeah, radio wave. Like, okay, that birdcage is a little bit of a plot convenience. It makes no sense why the radio waves couldn't get out of it.
All I'm saying is, like, were the spaces between the cage so small you couldn't just like slide through if you were skinny enough?
I could. I weigh 130 pounds. Like guys,
right in.
Yo, Buggy could have gone through it, right?
Yeah.
Well, no yeah, he probably could have.
And there was hockey in the cage.
Or, hey, here's what you do. Here's what you do.
Hockey on it.
Go to the edge. Go to the edge of a birdcage. Take a Den Mushi. Let it just like snake out of the birdcage 2 inches, and just be like, "We need help."
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you could also like dig underneath the birdcage. There's a lot of flaws.
No, you couldn't.
No, it was
the birdcage is invincible. It's symbolic of the oppression of the Tenryubito made manifest. Symbolism.
Very deep, very deep, very deep.
Yes.
Yeah, I would hate to see Kaido tangle with that birdcage.
They even flash back to when Sabo during the whole Gray Terminal thing was like, I feel like I'm trapped in a birdcage. I'm like, there it is. Okay.
Luffy's like, I feel suffocated. I'm like, I get it, Oda. I get the metaphor.
Yeah.
Little on the nose, Oda.
Another thing that I just want to throw out there.
You can't tell me that.
What's up?
Another thing that I just want to throw
out.
Wait, hold on, TB. Another thing I just want to
You continue.
Yeah. I just want to throw out there because this is something that I feel like has gone over a lot of people's heads. What do you think is up with the iron liqueur that the Revolutionary Army is interested in?
It's from Wano.
It's from Wano. Do you guys see the Revolutionary Army make an appearance?
Yes.
Yeah, I already said that.
Yeah.
I already said that.
Oh, my bad. I missed it.
Yeah, especially because Reverie, by the time of the Fire Festival, will be over.
Oh, yeah.
And so you're going to want the Revolutionaries are going to probably follow wherever the Marines are going to go, or they're going to chase them. Like, wherever Fujitora and Green Bull go, the Revolutionaries are going to go. So if we expect Fujitora to be in Wano, Revolutionaries are going to be in Wano too.
By current estimates, we're like in the 5th, maybe 6th day of Reverie. It's kind of vague right now where we're at exactly. But it's like a week away till the Fire Festival.
And Oda did mention during Jump Festa that some other big thing is going to happen during Reverie this year.
I know.
So
also, we should get the Grand Fleet turn up.
Right? The Lurking Legend too. You're forgetting that.
The Lurking Legend's supposed to be in 2018.
So the Lurking Legend in 2018, I think it was Emu. It was Emu. It had to have been Emu.
Yeah, probably.
I guess it. By that logic, if it had to be in 2018, it had to have been.
Yeah, because I mean, it's the one character that's been in the background all this time.
Guys,
obviously important to the story.
Thank God that it wasn't fucking Shiki. Jesus.
I mean,
that's a big theory for a while.
Shiki is a fun character. Okay. It's just,
but he got an entire movie, and people were like,
I feel the
"Oh,
thing
he's still gonna be in the story."
Yeah, the thing with him with Shiki was Shiki had his big hype moments back in Impel Down. They had Strong World. They had the bonus chapter. No one really cares about Shiki anymore, unfortunately.
Thank you. That's exactly how
I like Shiki.
I would still be okay if he showed up.
Shiki's the chump, right?
I feel like his time in the sun. They don't focus.
It'd be kind of stale if they brought back Shiki.
It's Rox's time as the mysterious strong pirate.
Change, I know the movies aren't canon, but it'd be weird to see him in the story now.
It would totally
Luffy beat him with a Thor. With a Thor with no Haki, it'd be weird. But
you just mentioned the movie. Do you think the movie's focus is going to be the Rocks Pirates?
Nah.
I think
Oda said it's about treasure, so. It's about
treasure.
That's very vague. Vague, yeah.
That's vague as hell.
So I don't know if it's a big villain thing at the moment.
I also love that Oda put in there. It's like there might as well be ending the series with this movie. They're writing like a climax for it, and I'm like, well, in film Z, we did have wasn't the Dynastone supposed to blow up the world anyway? So it's like they've done this before.
Supposed to rival the ancient weapons or something.
Yeah, some bullshit like that.
All right, so we got some super chats right now that I'm gonna go ahead and read off.
Yeah.
So, first of all, thanks to DRIZZT Fanboy, Doc Diablo, The Last, Spaz Wolverine, Nick, Amir Zekic, Monkey D. Luffy, Carl Ravel, DJ Falker, A Wild Zubat, B-Bam,
Yeah, but they're everywhere.
Explorer Zim, DJ Falker, OG Scared, Teardrop. Jesus Christ, how many people are donating? Oh my goodness.
Oh, a lot.
Doc Diablo again.
It's the Reverie, man. It's the time for the community text.
R.T365, Sanji-san, Dutch Lad 112, Jeremy Roranoa, Explorer Zim again, Takumaru, and Carrie G. So we actually have some questions in here. I'm going to try and skip over some of the ones that are just memeing out here. We got a question here from Jeremy Roranoa. He says, what do you guys think about D meaning dawn? It would be poetic if the world government would will of bringing new dawn to the world. OP ends with the sun rising and the name revealed. What do you guys think? D means dawn?
I think dawn is pretty good.
I've heard of it before. Like because like there's only a certain number of D words. I'm sure someone's bound to guess it at one point. I wonder if they're gonna do the spin with it. It's like it's not what it really like is an initial for. It's what it represents.
It could be something like as well.
Rising sun, rising
I always thought that the D was one of two things. Either it's like Dragon Slayer or something to go.
Yeah, obviously that's the first guess.
Right. Or it's supposed to represent like a crescent moon.
Oh,
yeah. I've heard that theory before.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that one too.
I'm sure
It's a pictogram, yeah.
For literal decades, we've waited for this. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a huge fan of the D equals dawn. That's my headcanon right now.
D means
I like it.
D means
a new dawn. I like that.
It could be a Latin word that means like an entire sentence as well.
I don't know. It's just you figure for 20 years he's been basically because in the first chapter Monkey D. Luffy, you think like Oda expects us all to figure out it's an initial for one word.
Since Drum Island, it's been a thing.
Yeah.
D means destiny, and the will of D is going to be the send you DNA.
Move, bro.
One Piece isn't about
Destiny,
destiny. So
Devil, Dawn, Dissident. I've heard all of these. Yeah.
Demon.
Descendant. I've heard all of them, man. You know.
All right, we got another donation from Explorer Zim. He says, "What are you guys' thoughts on the Doflamingo assassination plot? I think they will fail to kill him, and he'll escape and save Kaido right at the end of the Wano arc. P.S. I'm gonna start getting involved in the YouTube community in the summer. I appreciate it. Good luck to you.
Welcome.
Do it.
Real quick, two things. All right, first off, going back to the Dawn topic too, I saw some people bringing this up in the chat. This is important. The name of the first chapter is Romance Dawn.
Yes,
it has actually been a thing since chapter 1.
But it's so obvious, though. It's just like,
well, I mean, it's obvious if you spend your entire life trying to figure it out.
I mean, would Oda be that obvious though? I mean, usually he always likes to, hide things or reverse our expectations. Do something.
It's not hiding in plain sight, though.
Dragon.
He straight up said
it might be a thing where he put the pieces together as he went on.
Oda straight up said in that interview, if someone correctly guessed the end of One Piece, he would change it. Which, do you know what that implies? Do you know what that implies?
Anything, really.
That implies to me he has multiple endings planned, and he could just jump from one to another. Because you figure he can't just be like, oh, it's at the end, somebody guessed it, I'll just pull something out of my ass. He has to have multiple ones.
I mean, he's not the only person who's done this either. Isayama-san's already said he completely changed Attack on Titan's ending. I like these characters.
I really hope
but the thing is, though, I mean, Oda's had years to plan his ending. So much time. Of course. He's an honest monster when you think about it, how long he's been
working on this since college.
He said he knew the ending from the start, so let's hope it's good.
I mean, I think Oda, whatever ending it will be, it's probably going to be something that all fans are going to appreciate. I mean, he's had so many years. So. He's the number one mangaka for a reason. I mean, you
could say the same thing about Fairy Tail,
I don't think that there is an ending that could satisfy everyone.
This is great. King of Lightning in the chat. D being Dawn is like Obito turning out to be Toby. Who would have thunk it? Good one,
I mean, but that was the case, right?
I didn't see that coming. I honestly did.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it was obvious.
Yeah, spoiler for the.
And just don't say Toby's name a few times in a row, because Toby doesn't sound like
Toby was such a good character too, until he became Obito.
One Piece is going to be so much gold, it's going to be ridiculous.
I think that's going to be part of it. They're going to walk into a giant treasure chamber, and Nami's just going to like pass out, have an orgasm, and then
Nosebleed pass out. Finally, Nami.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure we talked at one point during one of the reveries that like there would be some treasure room in Raftel.
Yeah.
And it comes down between Luffy and Blackbeard, and Luffy like knows something's wrong and doesn't want to risk his crew, and Blackbeard's like, screw it, I got all my treasure, gets in the room and it starts like filling up with water and he drowns. Like I remember talking about that during one of the reveries, and I was like, that's a really good idea.
So do you think One Piece is a gold treasure room?
Well, not all of it, but part of it has to be.
Yeah.
So I actually have an argument about this, right? So Buggy, I mean, we assume, right? Buggy was part of the Roger Pirates along with Shanks. We're not entirely sure, but I think it's fair to guess that he might have been to Raftel, yet doesn't seem to be interested. He wants to become the Pirate King, but he's never said that I'm interested in finding the One Piece. What Buggy likes is gold and silver. He would also have traveled with Roger long enough to know what it is that he would consider his treasure, right? So maybe it doesn't have any gold or anything of that.
I always thought One Piece doesn't have anything.
The only issue with that is that Oda has come out and said, it's definitely a physical reward part of it.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
And I'm like, what else could that be? Like a physical reward for all their troubles?
I just don't think it's treasure.
I don't think that One Piece has anything to do with treasure. I think it's something like tied to the Void Century or like poneglyphs.
It's like a last piece of something. It's not treasure.
I don't feel it's mutually.
What a probably meant that it's not like a symbol. It's not like a.
It's not going to be like
friendship. No, it's about a physical thing.
It's not the journey.
Right.
I don't think you have to be mutually exclusive, which just the Void Century or just treasure. It could be everything at once. Like it's culminating in probably a 25, maybe a close to 30-year-long series at that point.
Think about Roger's left. You think that's Roger's treasure that he had, or just the treasure that was from a different?
Think about Roger's
I mean, you could like he was still the best pirate in the world. He probably gathered a bunch of booty along the way and just here's whatever. I don't really care about the diamonds and gold, but here they are. I mean, I have.
Remember Roger's execution? They asked about his treasure and he said, "Go find it." So I think it's treasure.
Dude, Tekking, I would like to clarify. I would like to clarify that interview for just a moment. It's not. He didn't actually say it's going to be a physical reward. The actual translation is a reward. So that could be a lot of different things. It doesn't actually have to be a physical object. Like for instance, a lot of people say that knowledge is power, or you can actually acquire knowledge. That's a thing that could be an actual reward. So it doesn't. Like the only thing Oda was saying is it's not going to be Wizard of Oz, essentially.
Okay, this is nothing, and why I don't think that One Piece is necessarily treasure. Remember Whitebeard's his last words. Why would Sengoku be so pissed off, so angry at Whitebeard that he yells out? That he yells out. The One Piece actually does exist. They don't want.
And he says they'd be upset too if they found out. The government would be upset a great deal.
Because the reason why he was pissed is because they wanted piracy to die out.
Because it reveals.
That's more inspiration.
And it reveals the Void Century because we already know the real poneglyphs are going to culminate at Raftel. So that's probably why Sengoku was pissed, because that's the one thing they don't want anybody to find out about.
The thing is, just like when Roger died, just when Roger died, like it inspired pirates to go out and find the One Piece. That's exactly why Sengoku wanted their deaths to be symbolic of like, okay, we're going to stomp out piracy and show that the Marines are so strong. And then Whitebeard's like, nah, I'm going to inspire more pirates.
I think Sengoku in that moment realized, like, even with Whitebeard dying, like, they can't end this flame. No matter how many of them they killed, it's not stopping. It just gets stronger every time you try to snuff it out. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, I recently finished watching or rewatching Zo, and they were talking about how no matter what, you'll end up finding out the truth of the world throughout that journey. But that will bring you to the end of the line. But then you need the 4 road poneglyphs to find Raftel because it's hidden, right? So the history is part of it, but then there's still something else. At least that's what I got out of it.
Good on you for rerereading the best arc of the.
That is one of the best arcs.
I just finished rewatching it.
You know why? Zo is like a short and sweet arc. It just comes off of Dressrosa. We had like 100 chapters there, and it's just like Zo is such like a different kind of change of pace from what happened there.
Reminding me of Skypia.
I remember so many people complaining about the whole Sanji being dead plot for like 4 weeks.
When was that? Oh yeah, when the strike.
Pretty sure the same people weren't complaining when we got the exact same ending to every Whole Cake Island chapter at the ending with Big Mom about to catch the ship. She's about to catch the ship. She's about to catch the ship.
Roger's going in now.
About to catch the ship. Oh, another Sanji.
Roger. The only
I think
time
they're the
I
same
was
people, though, Roger.
the only time I was legitimately like on the edge of my seat, like how are they going to get out of this one, was with the giant tsunami right about to crash down.
Oh yeah,
on
we
ship.
all.
I was like,
I think we.
I
all
was
were.
like,
yeah,
all right,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Kiji's turning up and freezing it. Everything was possible.
Yo, so we got some other donations here that I want to read out. We got a donation from BBAM502. He asks, I'm not sure what to say about this, but see what you guys come up with. If Kuina would have never died and went on her own journey, how strong do you think she would be at this point?
Well, she did get by a staircase.
Would she be Zoro level? You guys think she's
stronger?
I'd say she'd be stronger. She'd be stronger than Zoro.
Wait, did you just say staircase level? Because that's.
I mean, she'd get hurt by a staircase. I mean,
bro. Who's to say that she's not out there somewhere?
I feel like she'd get to she'd probably get to the main gate of Eni's lobby and then see the stairs, try going up, and then falls all the way.
She's like, no, I'm not doing. She would have a complex. Yeah.
I'm just
I mean, if Kuina was still alive, it'd be Zoro's final fight, but she's not. So
she'd be stronger than Zoro.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced
she would be stronger than Zoro. I would say if she's still alive. I agree.
There was for a while there, I would have loved her to be revealed as like the Shogun of Wano at the end of the day, like in the shadows. It was a woman running everything. I mean, I can dream. I didn't actually, it would be cool.
My wife is so powerful.
All right, we got another donation, this time from Explorer Zim again. He says, do you guys think that Tengu will smelter down Zoro's swords? Smelter down Zoro's swords, all right. And form them into one sword like Ichigo's bastard sword?
No.
Ooh, absolutely not.
And then Zoro gets
Wano Ichimonji gets smeltered down to form an... I don't know about that.
No. I don't think he would...
No.
No.
Wano
What is... There's too much meaning behind his swords to just melt it all down into one.
No way. No way.
Nope.
It's not even that. He also just melting his swords down.
The question really is, I mean, Zoro, does he need a stronger sword necessarily? I mean, if the sword doesn't have any other properties other than being stronger, he can turn any blade into a black blade. That's what Mihawk's whole point of training. So, I mean, if Shanks can pull around some like scrub-ass sword and still be able to fight with Yonko.
When Zoro gets Shishui, though, he does say like it's way more powerful than his other one. So it's not just like a.
He said that. He did say he said that before he had hockey.
It's about the weight. It's about the weight and the cut of the weapon as well in Thrillbark. And he does the stronger Phoenix cannon instantly with it because it's a heavier blade or something.
But the thing is, like, I don't think he necessarily needs like a heavier blade or anything like that. Like maybe the curse is a way to power up his power. You know what I'm saying?
He swords are fine because he's got Haki.
The reason why he can use Haki is because of the curse and the swords, and maybe if he is a higher grade.
So a question: with Mihawk's Black Blade, do y'all just think that Mihawk like permanently keeps it coated in ornament Haki?
No. It doesn't make sense if that's true because he would have been able to do a lot of things in Marineford that he wasn't able to.
Exactly. Well, no, I don't want to bring up the Buggy Mihawk thing because that's another whole. Like does Buggy automatically detach when a blade is like a centimeter away? Like that gets involved.
It doesn't affect Logias in that way, so it shouldn't affect Buggy.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not. Yeah.
Also, real quick, Joy Boy, I just want to let you know because some people are bringing it up in the chat. We are the top 5 most viewed live video on YouTube right now.
5,700 guys.
The only things in front of us are a phase replay, 3 chill hop beats to relax to videos, and Peppa Pig replays. So
Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig.
Of course.
Yeah, we just beat PewDiePie and T-Series.
Dude, on that note, we have King of Lightning still waiting on the in Twitter right now to go ahead and join up. So there's still so much more left that we need to do. So first off, we need somebody to drop out so that we can bring King of Lightning and Mr. Morj. I know everybody was excited to get Mr. Morj in here. We need to get Mr. Morj in here and maybe DRIZZT as well. So we should go ahead and decide that. Go ahead and check Twitter for that. But in the meantime, let's talk about the recent news about Shanks. What do you guys think about the confirms?
Oh yeah.
The God King.
Oh yes.
It's not really news.
Yeah, the devil fruit thing, I already obviously I don't think he had a devil fruit. Like that's pretty much I mean, every now and then you come across somebody like he has the this crazy. Well, it used to be the time fruit, but then we found out about that. So yeah,
I think it's all hype. Basically.
Yeah. It's you want him to be like the Superman of One Piece, basically.
Every time like a piece of information gets put out about Shanks, it just like hypes him up to infinite levels because we all know he's the strongest. That's just fact.
I love your Shanks avatar, by the way.
just for clarification, so people don't know what we're talking about. Basically, it was confirmed, right, that Shanks is the highest bounty out of the Yonko, at least. I don't know if it was.
It's a bare minimum
written down if you guys want.
It's insinuating that.
I know.
Okay,
I know a lot of people didn't see it, so let's just go ahead.
I just did a video about it today. I have it. Go, Joy Boy. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, what are the Yonko's bounties? Question mark. Are there 2 monsters over 2 billion? This was talking about. There was a little picture of Kaido as well as Big Mom. So, are they over 2 billion? Even though he, talking about Shanks, is the only non-devil fruit user among the Yonko, he is able to match against a Navy admiral. Now, this translation kind of differed. Some said match. Others said that he could just basically foderize them. So that just depends on who you read for the translation. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
I can't read Japanese. And it says, I get the feeling. This is from the editors, right? I get the feeling that his bounty might be the highest of all the Yonko, we would assume. This man's an unknown quantity that deals with the Gorosei. I'm pretty sure it meant Yonko, but
no, yeah, it definitely meant the Yonko because I saw some people looking at that translation. It is not the highest bounty in the series. It's the bounty of all.
Dragon is highest.
Dragon.
I still want Dragon to be. He's the most wanted man. They're wanted posters. Like
when you think about it, right? Everyone's assuming because he has the knowledge of Raftel that he's worth the most, but like. Yo, world government, he knows the secrets of the history of the world. You might want to kill him at some point. Why are you letting him hang around?
He just walks in and they don't do anything.
So I have a theory about this.
They can't kill him because the Navy are a bit shit.
No.
To be fair, we don't know.
It's the balance of the world. In my opinion, it's the balance of the world. They need the Yonko. So imagine if there wasn't a world with Yonko, right? You could just travel the Grand Line, sail it, go to the other side.
Then the Navy would rule it, yeah.
Not necessarily Navy, but I mean, there's some people that literally cannot be stopped regardless. What this would do, in my opinion, would make it a lot easier to create a pirate king, create somebody to rule over them all. If you're the government, you'd rather have 4 Yonko relatively evenly
fighting each other. Right. They can fight each other too.
Dividing the powers. Exactly. Well, I mean, they don't want them to fight each other because they don't want someone to come out the winner. But
no, I mean, they're constantly at heads.
They're only interested in
their spheres of influence. Law says. So I mean,
we've got 5 emperors now, so one can go, I guess.
So even if Shanks knows what he knows, then it could still be beneficial because he's not overly aggressive. He doesn't seem to have any plans of attacking the world government, at least not obviously. So then, he kind of borders this line of ally and enemy because he does something that the Navy needs.
They're so desperate for the history not to get out. Like, that's their entire goal.
I always
that's what I'm saying.
Well, it's probably Eames' goal, and they're just carrying it out.
Well, I always wonder why no one talks about it. Like, a couple of people know what happened, but you don't ever see them like trying to tell people. Like, I always wonder
people
if
they can talk to can't do anything.
Like,
it's
not even who exactly do you, like who knows it outside of. Outside of the Tenryubito, who would know about it?
So
let
me just
Rayleigh knows
about it. But in the eyes of the people, Rayleigh's a criminal. You know what I'm saying?
So let me just throw
they're not going to believe. They're not going to believe what he's saying.
They're not going to believe Rayleigh at all.
And the world government's going to cover up anything he tries to say anyway.
See, and I don't agree with that. I think that the big thing the world government is trying to do, or Shanks in particular, is if he starts telling people of the world history, what's going to happen? The world government is just going to kill those people. It's going to be mass genocide. I mean, the Gorosei essentially said that it's time for a mass cleansing. I mean, what else does that mean than killing anybody who knows something that you don't want them to know? So Shanks telling people and not actually acting on it, fighting them or defeating them in some way, if he's sort of rationalized his role in all of this, then it's not good to just spout off until you're ready to actually take action on that and confront them.
In the eyes of the people, the world government are they're the ones that keep the world safe and everything from the pirates.
They don't want the Vanilla to wash away. That's the whole purpose of the Navy.
If they wanted to, they could just go all iron dictatorship with this and just, they could wipe out islands left and right. It's just it's easier not to do that because you want the people to be on your side, obviously.
And you need their gold and taxation.
Exactly. But if this all goes belly up and people start spouting off about the Void Century and a bunch of people find out about it, the government's just going to be like, okay, yeah, Void Century, whatever. You can't do anything about it. We're the ones in charge now, bitch. And then just...
Right. I feel like they could... The people of the world could overthrow the
That's why I feel like the Revolutionary Army should be more of a threat, though, because they're targeting the world government and the Tenryubito specifically, rather than Shanks.
They are.
Not...
I mean, they are.
They are.
We know
Shanks is the last
in the world.
So he's that's that. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And yet they can't catch him either.
Mm-hmm.
So before we move on this topic, I just want to ask: was anybody at all surprised by this news? And
no,
not really. No.
So I guess I'm just gonna go on my soapbox for a moment. And the only thing that I have an issue with it is I would just rather have this be told to me in the story. You don't need to have this random box that was never translated into English. that we have to go onto forums in order to read, in order to confirm that, that Shanks doesn't have a devil fruit. If that's what the case is, man, just put it in the story, right?
Yeah.
We'll see Shanks
I mean,
when he's
I'm sure it will be in a story at some point.
Yeah, but I
might not be this huge revelation.
But I already know
my
now.
interpretation here is it is right around the corner. That's why his editors put this out. Like, it's gonna happen soon.
But
We're just gonna.
And
this I think a lot of what was said was already in the story.
But I also think, like, he mentioned specifically that Kaido and Big Mom are over 2 billion, and I could literally
that was
see
obvious,
the panel.
though.
I know, but I could see the panel in my head of Wano Country with Kaido and Big Mom punching each other, and then underneath them, their bounties and their names.
We just get them both. We just get them both in the same chapter, and then Shanks at the very end. Oda might just drop all three of them on the same chapter.
Blackbeard's over 2 billion. We would expect for Kaido and Big Mom.
Exactly. We don't know where Kaido ranks.
We would expect for the rest of the Yonko to be
to be over.
We would expect.
Would you though? Because like, it doesn't really make sense.
Yes, they're
how high
over
do
2
these
billion.
things go? Like, how high do they?
Higher than Blackbeard.
Higher than Blackbeard. Especially
like, how much money does the Yonko have?
That they've been Yonko longer.
How much did they offer for the lost fruit?
They offered like
5 billion. 5 billion.
It was like 5 billion.
5 billion.
They offered for what they offered. Yeah.
Yo, do they intend on paying the bounty out?
That Kaido would have a higher fruit than higher bounty than Shanks though, because Kaido's a little crazier and he wants to
higher than Shanks. I don't know.
I mean, I think knowledge is
part
like
of Roger's crew, though.
Yeah, because I think Shanks probably benefits from being part of Roger's crew in the past.
Yeah, he is part of Roger's crew.
He benefits from that. He benefits from being considered one of the strongest swordsmen in the world with only having one arm, and he's a Yonko despite not having a devil fruit. That's why
they may exaggerate it as well.
Exactly. He doesn't have a devil fruit.
Yeah, and we talked about this before. He's probably the highest because he knows the history.
Right, and they may exaggerate it because of their connection to him. Right.
But also, I mean, we've seen it so many times in the story already. I mean, during Marineford, he's the guy who held off Kaido and single-handedly stopped the war. So I mean, if one man has that power,
dude.
I mean, quote, he held off Kaido.
Did anyone see the fan art of literally like Shanks on the Red Force staring down Kaido as a dragon just coming at him? It was so awesome.
I really hope Oda shows us that one day. Like, you know, what happened between them. Please, Oda, please do.
A drinking contest.
Wait. Speaking of Red Force, Tekking. Speaking of Red Force, I just want to bring this up. Eric, you're here right now. I want to say this. You are one of my favorite upcoming One Piece channels. I really love you.
Eric.
You guys are at 800 subscribers. We have 5,000 something people in here. All of you, go subscribe to Red Force right now. Get this man over 1,000 live on stream.
Do it.
Roger, also, subscribe to everybody
here. I appreciate it, Roger. I appreciate it.
You got it. Get this man over 1,000.
Make sure to subscribe to Joy Boy too. He's the one hosting the stream. And make sure to leave a like as well. Leave a like, everybody. Seriously, we have 5,000 people here.
Yo, Roger,
share this to everyone and everywhere so we can surpass, like, the chill music, whatever the fuck.
This is great, dude. Like, the highest live stream I've ever done is when the last chapter of Bleach. I did a live stream on that. It was like just about 6,000. I think we're gonna crack that. It's gonna be great.
It should, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
We're
gonna do it. Number one YouTube live.
Make it happen.
Well, I'm about to dip out, guys. I just wanted to say I'm going to let Keen get in my spot. Before I do, though, I just want to say you guys have a good stream. I had a lot of fun. And also, what's this doing MATTB and me versus me? What is this?
Drama?
That's the
What'd you do to Chibi?
I didn't do anything to Chibi. I think I was speaking on Chibi and on Brago's stream like a year ago or whenever the fuck we were supposed to do a Reverie, and yeah, man, I guess the community wants to see us go at it, but
we beefing, bro. We beefing.
I guess.
All right, it's time for a rap battle right now.
I guess we are. I guess we are beefing. I mean,
man, we beefing, bro. Oh my god. But okay, man. You have a good day. All of you guys too.
See you, Chibi. Have a good one, man.
Oh shit,
man. I have some news. We are over 1,000 subs. That's great.
What'd you say?
Brago,
we're over 1,000 subs.
Come on, man. What's up?
What you mean?
Nothing.
That 200 subs.
Shout out to Eric getting over 1,000 subs. That's lit.
Congrats, man.
Brago, didn't Eric also make your intro as well?
He did, yeah.
Nice.
In addition to being awesome, in addition to being good YouTubers, they're also incredible artists. Like obviously, like, he made this shirt right here. And he's,
go buy King of Lightning shirt. Go buy Zoro shirts. More Zoro shirts coming in the future.
Got some stuff planned for all Zoro fans out there, boys. Let's go.
That's
be good. Be good stuff.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. So it's time for some of the bigger topics, I think. We'll get into donations here in just a moment, but we haven't talked about this yet. Surprisingly, it's been an hour. Big Mom and Wano. Thoughts?
Well, she's dead. She's dead.
She will never be back ever again.
I talked about this with JB and DRIZZT on that video, but I'm pretty sure this is to deliver the Rocks plot, and they're going to have some kind of alliance against Luffy. That's my theory on it, anyway.
I agree that it'll eventually commence an alliance between Big Mom and Kaido, because there's a lot of ties to Fishman Island as well. But
an alliance to beat Luffy?
An alliance to deal with Luffy, just to get him out of the picture.
Okay, then who gets him after?
Then what do you mean who gets him after?
Like, say they capture Luffy, who gets him? Because Big Mom wants him.
I mean, obviously they're never gonna get to that point to where
How on earth?
That's why I don't think they would ever ally to.
It's hard because
how are we gonna take out Big Mom and Kaido when they're allied with each other?
It's either gonna be Shanks or the Revolutionary Army. That's my call. Right?
Shanks isn't pulling up the one.
To go back to what Brago was just saying though, who would get him? I mean, he's got a big bounty. They could just split the bounty and give it to the world government.
They're just
they don't want the bounty.
They don't want money.
I don't think they would know. They want his head.
They cut him in half and share him like that.
Yeah, they want to kill him.
But I can see them disagreeing on something like that. That's why I don't think they would ever ally.
Yo! Can I just take time to tell you?
Wait, MATTB, my dude. Yo, you.
Yo, Corey, you heard what I heard?
I'm hearing man. MATTB a little bit shook. I don't know. I don't know. The power of the Chibits, bro. I'm like, oh shit.
Chibits pull up on his ass.
Yo, man. I mean, what the fuck was I supposed to say?
I was like, we ain't got no problems, bro.
Don't.
I don't want no smoke with the Chibits.
King,
my stomach hurts, bro.
I love your laugh.
Yo,
Tekki, my dude, what's up, man? How you been?
Not much, man.
Good shit. Oh, I should have you rolling, bro. I should have you rolling for
me.
King's just excited because Sanji's gonna get real feet soon. So he's just.
What do you mean? What do you mean, bro? Sanji's clean. My boy is clean. What's up?
How's it feel to be wrong about both Kid and Drake in the span of a week?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That did happen.
What do you mean? Whoa, wait a minute.
Wrong
on what? Wrong on what?
What did you say about Kid?
Yeah, what did I say about
Sanji and Zoro were stronger than Kid.
Yeah,
so far I'm still putting Zoro over Kid. I mean, Kid. Yeah.
Wow. Put Sanji and Zoro over Kid, number one. All right, I'm fucking Zoro fanboy. Okay.
Yo, we'll raise that.
Man's always mocking Drake with his little T-Rex arms, and my man showed his hybrid form.
I still listen, bro. Drake is maybe a bit of a Capone now, maybe.
A bit of a Capone?
A bit of a Capone.
Oh boy.
Holy mackerel.
Zoro, you okay, buddy? You all right, buddy?
Come on, man. Capone.
He has a hybrid form plot. Wait. We found out more about Kid, so I rose level. Okay, Kid didn't look good.
You still think Sanji can beat Kid, Cole?
He did not. Kid did not look good at the beginning of the time skip. He did not.
You still think Sanji can beat him?
Huh? No, I still have him ranked. I still have Kid. I still have Zoro and Sanji ranked over Kid for the time being. Yes.
Yo, King, what do you think about Big Mom and Kaido's situation right now?
It's complicated, but I wonder if Big Mom and Kaido actually hate each other. I do wonder that. They could actually, it could more so just be an issue that they had in the past more so, but they could settle it.
And also remember, Kaido owes Big Mom something, so that has to be.
Yeah. Why else was Kaido so he was throwing up, he was freaking out.
He was sweaty. He was
sweaty.
Yeah. You can't just say, oh, it's because he's afraid of her power, because he has an entire country and his entire crew.
Tekking, I'm gonna tell you what it was, man. He hit that and he didn't want to see it again.
Yep, there it is.
Kaido doesn't want to pay child support. That's it.
We're not to let that woman near my child support payments, man.
Yeah.
But then that would imply Katakuri is Kaido and Big Mom's son, which
right.
All right.
Just roll
with that.
I guess. That they were married at one point.
Oh God, that
he talks about her husbands. You never hear about.
Bro, you don't need to be married to have a kid. Kind of.
No, I know that. He talks about her husbands. It never says, she also has like all these random deadbeat fathers out here.
Kaido is a very devoted Christian guy.
Maybe Kaido's so upset because Big Mom didn't let him see his children.
Like you've heard the theory of a Kai Do, where it's like, you've heard this theory before, bro.
Oda, you just need Oda stop including D's in characters' names. Just stop doing it.
No, but like it correlates to like Kaido's potential kids. So like Katakuri, and then Alvin Daifuku,
like, and then O is the Japanese for king. Yeah,
Brago's out here just slipping. My man,
kicking Katakuri around, brothers.
Like I just want to imagine like Big Mom and Kaido like just in the sack. It's like ooh, like whatever.
So, Yo, they were young, right?
No, somebody, wait, hold on. Somebody tweet that out real quick. Quote, King of Lightning. I want to imagine Kaido and Big Mom in the
I
will retweet
it. Misquotes. I need a lawyer. Fucking hell.
Everybody needs a lawyer.
Well, welcome to the club, King. Welcome to the club.
I'm not gonna judge you, bro.
This is a stream, or this is a place where everyone likes to misquote you.
I do. While we're on this topic of Big Mom and Kaido, I made a video about this and I was kicking myself. I didn't even think about this. What do you guys think about the idea there's another ship with Katakuri on it, and that's like the Big Mom ship was just the distract? I don't think so, but I wish I would have brought it up.
It's possible.
First off, shout out to Joy Boy. He did an awesome video on this. Shout out to Joy Boy's video. I actually like this video, but I disagree. Because for one reason, it's that you have to remember the whole thing with the Yonko, the Emperors of the Sea, is it's all about territory. There was just a news article that Big News Morgans put out saying Big Mom was defeated by the newest Emperor of the Sea.
Yep.
Every pirate who wants to be a Yonko in the world is going to zone in on Whole Cake Island now because they're weak. And Big Mom is not there. Big Mom's in Wano right now with some of her big dogs. We didn't see Katakuri. We didn't see Cracker. We didn't see Brule. We didn't see Oven. She is smart enough to know I have to leave somebody strong there who's going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with some of Blackbeard's men. Because Blackbeard, you think he's not going to swoop in and try to steal Devil Fruits?
Yeah, I think you could. Well, I don't think like a random pirate crew could take over Topland, even with just the random soldiers. But, I mean, Shanks isn't going to do it, but Blackbeard is right. I mean, yeah, it would be prime real estate for him.
Prime real estate.
Would Blackbeard want to take out an emperor though instead of territory? It's kind of weird poking a bear for no reason.
No, he might not. Well, he might not take over Totland. He might just burn it to the ground and just like.
What does that accomplish?
It's just like
it doesn't accomplish anything.
You start a war and you haven't weakened the Big Mom pirates at all.
I mean,
he's putting a target on his back for no reason from Big Moms. I don't.
But also, especially in Thailand, where they like the way they live in a general sense. So it's like, what's the point? There's no point to it.
It would be better for him to go to Wano and actually take out a Yonko because
that's possible. I mean, he has a connection in Wano. There's somebody leaking information from Wano into Blackbeard's camp
Blackbeard's
somewhere.
whole thing though isn't to like amass more territory as much as it is to steal Devil Fruits. If he has the opportunity to go to Whole Cake Island, or power, exactly. If so many people have these unique Devil Fruits in Whole Cake Island, why not just go in and swoop some easy ones?
Yeah, they all went on Big Mom's ship though.
Well, yeah, they're all
not all of them.
Big Mom.
Not all of them.
Well, Katakuri's there, Cracker.
The ones that became the most important during Whole Cake Island, the mochi fruit, the mirror fruit, they're all still there.
The mirror fruit.
And then I don't know about
aren't necessarily
I wouldn't necessarily say that the mochi fruit is strong. I think that the person that has it is strong.
I agree. Of course.
Didn't you want Luffy's fruit though? Luffy's fruit wasn't that strong.
Yeah, but you have to train in order to become strong.
Like there's some fruits like the mochi fruit. Yeah, the mochi fruit you need to train with. Like Absalom's invisibility. Like anybody could pick that up and like use it. And
did all of us ever talk about that in a live stream? That was wild.
The Absalom thing?
The Absalom Devil Fruit. Like, what in the world?
See, that's the thing. Like
amazing.
I was waiting for that because Oda was setting that up. Like he's a journalist now. He's traveling the world. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be something big, and then he just dies off screen. Like, what?
Thank God for that. No, thank God for that. Thank God for that.
I didn't mind him dying off screen, honestly.
I mean, like he was trying to get on Nami in a shower. I didn't have much concern for the dipshit, you know. But it's like, but I was like, there's gonna be a conclusion to the Absalom as a freelance journalist arc. No, he's dead. There you go.
Quick question: Do we think that Kaiboshaki can perceive that ability? Sure.
Yeah, because
wouldn't it make it useless to guys like Katakuri or Fujitora and so on and so forth?
Like, it's utility at the end of the day. Like
Rayleigh said that Kimbo Shoku Haki is going to be used to identify enemies that you can't see.
I just want to throw this
literally
out.
what he said.
I just want to throw this out here right now. We assume that Shiru is going to be like final antagonist level opponent. If you can easily sense his invisibility, him there, even though he's invisible, then what does the Devil Fruit actually add to him? Why did Oda give it to him?
This is what I proposed. Is something like his awakening, being able to like erase his existence, so to say. And that's the only.
Or
no, he could
Blackbeard could give him 2 devil fruits, and he can make these amalgamations.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Right. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Maybe he's like inside a labyrinth or something, and then he awakens and everything becomes invisible. So you've got like these invisible barriers.
Yeah. I thought about that. That'd be so cool if it creates like everything around him is invisible, so you keep bumping into like trees and stuff. And
exactly. Cool.
His intent becomes invisible, therefore you can't sense it. Some bullshit like that.
Because if you can sense Shiru being there as being invisible with just regular hockey, then I'm just failing to see like.
Well, it's good. It's good because it doesn't overpower him to ridiculous amounts. Like if you want Shiryu to fight Zoro,
him at all. It doesn't add anything.
Yeah. It should be a sword fight. It shouldn't be Zoro becoming a devil fruit. It should be a sword fight.
There's obviously levels to it. I mean, the better that you get with the fruit, the more powers that you unlock. So
it also the ships become invisible. It helps a crew for sure because ships become invisible, assaults become invisible, things like that. So it's not just him.
Yeah, obviously, Shitty will make the most out of Devil Fruit much more than
he's all about
Absalom.
I know Tekken knows this. Okay, Tekken, do you remember the guy who was like the one that Reverie created? That guy that can like erases like his whole existence entirely. It could be something like that.
Who was it?
Remember? The guy that Reverie created, like Revie's henchman.
Stern Letter V, Vanishing Point, Gwen Howley.
There we go.
Yeah.
Could be him.
I still got it.
He still got it.
That guy. Yeah. Could be that. I'll go over his powers really quick. Okay, so it was a really cool ability, and he was just like a fake character that just disappeared, and he wasn't the real character. But he had 3 levels of vanishing. The first level was just regular invisibility, like you're still physically there, you just can't see you. You could still hear him and all that other stuff. The second one was he goes intangible, like a ghost, so you can't touch him, you can't hear him, anything like that. The third level was he disappears from your mind entirely, and you can't, you're just beyond sensing at that point. You forget who he is. Right. I love that ability. So I don't know if it'll do something like that with invisibility, but I mean it works for Shiryu.
Well, we know, like with Sugar's Devil Fruit, it makes you forget that person exists. It's not like it's not.
That was so broken, man.
That was
unbelievable.
You know what? I get it. It turns you into a toy.
If she was a fighter, holy shit, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking Christ, bro.
I get it. It turns you into a toy, and it can manipulate memories, and it makes you eternally young. There's one of those that it just like doesn't click with the overall theme,
Right.
But yeah.
This is what I'm happy that Shiryu has kind of like a useless Devil Fruit, quote unquote, because it shouldn't really be about Zoro defeating a Devil Fruit. It should be about sword skill.
Exactly. And
that's not what the Blood powers are about, though.
But that invisibility power is definitely going to come into play whenever Zoro's fighting. It's not just going to be a sword fight. He's going to have to overcome that Devil Fruit.
Thank God it wasn't a diamond fruit. I was going to be so mad if it was a diamond fruit.
You already know. No, Shiryu's sword is going to have the diamond fruit.
Yes, I heard that.
Roger. Oh no.
I'm telling you.
What about Sanji though? Like he wants that Devil Fruit. That's the only fruit that he's like.
I would love it for him.
Nobody think that he's going to fight Sanji.
He goes ultimate health memories.
He's not going to fight him. He's not going to fight him. But he sees Shiryu.
It's going to be a moment.
And he's like, damn it! It got reincarnated, and I still couldn't get it. Damn it!
Right. Everyone retweet this dude. He just quoted King of Lightning. So everyone retweet.
All right. But that's not the most important Devil Fruit that the Blackbeard crew has. What do you think about the 9-tailed fox?
On Devon, which is crazy.
That came out of left field. I didn't see that coming a mile away.
I didn't see that shit coming. That's definitely going to be used to deceive Sanji in the future.
Oh yeah, Chakra mode is going to be crazy.
Problem.
Yeah.
That'll go ahead.
That means to me that Oda is like propping up Devon to be one of the like key players in the crew.
Well, you know, it's either that, because it's kind of curious, right? Like why he revealed these two devil fruits first and not in general his crew. And I'm just kind of thinking that there's you know, somebody told me this soon after this chapter dropped. There's a theme that is involved here. You have invisibility and you have the ability to hide your identity.
Transform, yeah.
So does that kind of imply what Blackbeard might be doing in the future?
Well,
infiltration. He can infiltrate anywhere.
Sabotage infiltration, exactly.
I mean, yeah, that's what he's done. That's what he's all about. That's what he did in Marineford and impelled out.
It makes it easier.
Blackbeard's whole deal is that he's underhanded and he's tricky and he does like, you know, underhanded.
And in fact, if Moria joins the crew, that even elevates that to the next level too, because then you have a guy that can lurk in the shadows and whatnot. And
I mean,
it's
well, they could just kill him.
Imagine if he would have had. Imagine if he would have had these two powers whenever he came into Marineford.
Honestly, how he showed up,
no one would have been able to notice him. No one would have been able to be, you know, oh, look, it's the Blackbeard pirates.
Well, how he showed up was kind of out of nowhere. Like he had
Blackbeard is an absolute genius with that kind of stuff. Like he laid low and wiped. Like look what he did to Shanks, and you know that's why Shanks is kind of terrified of him a little bit.
What?
You know, he's like,
way before.
Terrified.
Shanks is terrified.
No, let me correct that. I'm not saying Shanks is quivering in his boots at night over Blackbeard. I think he sees Blackbeard for the threat he is, and I think that's who he was trying to talk to Gorosei about. Like, you guys need to pay attention to him, not Big Mom, not Kaido. Take care of him first, and then because he's gonna.
I don't think terrified is an exaggeration.
No, I
do definitely think
Brago,
that
it's not just his strength though. It's not just his strength he's talking about.
No, of course not.
Potential.
Of course not.
Blackbeard is like a king at lurking in the background.
How could
I think before we went into Wano country, do you remember like all the conversations we were having about, he has the strongest Logia and he's the strongest Paramecia? Everybody, way before we even knew Kaido had some type of dragon power, everybody was like, Kaido's going to have a super strong zone and Blackbeard's going to get that zone power.
Yeah.
Like everything is coming to play now. And
so it is so obvious, to be fair.
Exactly. It is super obvious, but at the same time, it's like it could still happen.
Like I'd rather have the Black Phoenix instead of like the Black
Blackbeard
Dragon.
gave Shanks that scar.
Yeah.
Blackbeard gave Shanks that scar before he had any devil fruit. All right. He told him, he's like, look, I wasn't being careless. He gave me the scar. He's a legitimate threat.
Yeah,
before two devil fruits. Like
when he was when he was a rookie,
more aware of his threat.
And now he just has two of the strongest ones. So.
Yeah, but Blackbeard would fight him, so don't forget about that.
Yeah,
I mean, he just wasn't ready. It just wasn't time yet.
Yeah, he's got a plan. Man. He's not gonna risk his plan.
Yeah,
to fight somebody.
He had his whole crew in fight Akainu. He had his whole crew in fight Akainu.
If you think about it, Blackbeard's as lucky as Luffy. What a ridiculous plan to pull off.
Hold on, lucky?
Nah, he's not lucky at all.
The only time he got lucky was
Blackbeard's entire plan
was
Blackbeard's entire plan was based on. No, he had a book of the fruits and he was searching for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What the Whitebeard
what better place to search for that fruit than on Whitebeard's ship?
I don't know about that.
Right.
But like there are certain things that happen that are kind of lucky. Like
he escaped. He escaped
down, for example, where you just happen to summon the stick to you. Like Magellan came in there, hydrated.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay, we're kind of done now. Nah, so like he's kind of lucky in a sense too. I mean,
he's a D. There's
All right, so Matt. This brings up then the big stride we saw in Pangea Castle.
How'd you connect that?
We have to wonder now. Can the D's, to a certain degree, manipulate causality? I have to wonder.
That's what I wonder. Fate itself. I'm just curious.
Fate itself. Yeah.
Throw it out there. I mean, some of you guys aren't gonna like that, bro.
That's a rabbit hole that I'm not willing to.
You know what?
What piece is it about fate and like? Destiny? It's about will.
Well,
that's a rabbit hole that I don't want to jump down.
Where then
I think
please not have his MBTA.
I think that people really underestimate the luck aspects of One Piece. It's very real as far as you determine fate. Those have some sort of power within the whatever god or lore exists in the backstory of the creation of One Piece.
Yeah. We don't really go into that too much.
By the way,
it really goes into that.
One Piece wiki getting way overzealous, putting a a power of Luffy to be luck.
I think so. I think so. I think that's a legitimate power.
That reminds me of in King and Toriko. They just have the food luck thing is like a thing that exists at the end of the theory.
We'll talk. Hold on. We know the only reason Joy Boy just said that's a legitimate thing to have on the One Piece wiki page is because Joy Boy's at the top of every One Piece wiki page. That's why he said that. Just want to clarify that.
Somehow, just Joy Boy, fuck you, bro.
all right. So on that, we have some donations that we need to get into. We got a ton of them. So let's get into it. All right, stop laughing now. So we got from a donation from a Wild Zubat again. He says, "Will Jinbei save Big Mom from drowning?" We also have another one that I probably just skipped over here, but in general, from Tragic Toast, what do you guys think about Jinbei's role in Wano? So Jinbei talk. What's up with that?
Oh, he's gonna fight a calamity. He's gonna prove himself on the crew.
Is he alive? Pick a body part that he lost, I guess. I'm saying
Jinbei's probably dead or some shit.
Jinbei did not
quote that. Quote that.
I don't think he's dead.
He ain't dead.
So my theory for the longest time has been Edo Tensei, right? And a lot of people don't like it, but Big Mom has the ability to take soul from people. A lot of people dead Pedro and Jinbei, potentially the Vinsmokes, even her own crew members, her family, who she should care about, sort of died off screen, and we moved on. But there could come a time in the story in which Big Mom reverses her abilities, takes whatever soul that she's consumed or put into homies, and gives them back to those people. Is that like how strongly do you feel about that?
I mean, like that's basically the same way the Kage no Mi worked. I mean, yeah,
she can't use souls on dead bodies though.
Well. Yeah, so it is true that she can't give souls back to dead bodies. However, it isn't clarified whether or not the soul can go back to its original body, right? You can't maybe switch bodies.
Well,
so there's a question there.
What do you think about Jinbei's role in the story and what he's done for the Straw Hats and the entirety of Marineford and the whole Ace thing? He can't die off panel.
Yeah,
he's
not dead.
Well, I mean, if you ask me, he can't die at all. He's going to be
but I could easily see it being something where she takes Jinbei's soul, makes him a homie, and then that is what Jinbei's new look is. Is it like Jinbei when he actually officially joins the homie? He looks like something else.
Exactly.
But I could see that happening. Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, like, Whole Cake Island, so many situations happen where the Straw Hats were able to easily escape through situations where they probably shouldn't have. If you're telling me not only did that happen, but Jinbei, as well as Aladdin, everyone, and the Vinsmokes all escaped on top of that, I'm like, come on, at that point.
That's a little.
And the thing is, we got the foreshadowing with Pudding too, because they saw in the Seducing Woods when Pudding gave the memories back to the homies. Like normally they forget who they are, but Pudding obviously is now on the side of the Straw Hats. Like after everything that's happened, she's cool with them now. If Jinbei is killed, his soul goes into a homie. She sees what homie it goes into. She's like, hey, I want you to help Sanji. Boom, gives him back the memories. He goes back to Wano, and there you go. Like that easy explanation for that.
I mean, they are fishermen that can just swim away. I will put that out.
I'm saying there has to be some sort of consequence.
There's no way that you can swim away from the entirety of the Big Mom.
I mean, I was thinking too small. I was thinking too small on this. I thought he just lost an eye or something.
Torpedoes, bro? Come on,
the only one that can do anything is Oven, and they can take him out.
As far as we know.
All right,
so Jinbei can get away, but the Vinsmoke shouldn't be able to get
away. We got another donation here.
They have snacks too.
Yeah. So, so this is from AN. When do you guys think Edward Weevil is going to become relevant?
I thought he was anybody for a hot minute.
Like, if not now, then when, dude? I mean, like according to
whenever Marco is relevant.
Done.
Yeah.
So when
he's gonna clash with Marco for sure.
Whenever Marco is relevant, so probably Wano.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people have been saying that Marco's opponent during Wano is going to be King.
Yes.
Why? Because he flies.
Why? Are we sure? Are we sure that he's going to be an enemy? Weevil's going to be an enemy in Wano?
No, Weevil will be an ally.
Maybe at first. Maybe
it depends. It depends on if he can get converted.
He's gonna be
Weevil is just Margin, Boo, and Barbity all over.
Yeah, he's a giant dude that just listens to somebody constantly. You get rid of that person and just like, okay, I guess I'll just do,
Yeah, right.
And they both hate Blackbeard, so
yeah,
a reason for
all you have to do to help them out is just like, hey, Weevil, Blackbeard's over there, help us out. And he's like, okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
I like Weevil. He's awesome.
Do we believe the hype? Is he as strong as Kizaru says?
Kizaru's putting it out.
I don't know. I don't know.
And you gotta take an admiral's word for it. Like
I would say he is.
It's just it's just vague what he says.
I would say he is legitimately that strong, though. Yeah.
Well, he says it doesn't matter if the rumors are true or not. His strength is whatever. So
yeah. It doesn't matter if he's Whitebeard. I think he is going to turn out to be, but the Miss Baki's not going to have like the relationship she claims she had with it. But Edward turns out to be Whitebeard's son.
Well, a lot of people think it's a Vegapunk thing or something.
I don't think about that.
The only thing about that's so garbage is that, like, if Weevil's actually Whitebeard's son, his whole thing was that he wanted a family. So if he actually had a kid and then he didn't follow it up with the kid, no way, man.
That's not. Didn't know he existed. I don't know, man.
Maybe
it could have been that.
Took the child away from him. So that's why he wanted a family even more. Miss Bucking fucked him over.
Maybe.
So,
yeah.
Like that's a possibility.
It's not stated how old he is yet, right, Weevil? Like we don't know how old he is.
I don't know. I don't believe it is.
That could be important.
Spooky, what do you think? I don't think you've talked in a while. What's up, buddy?
I'm just listening. If I see a moment to jump in, I plan to. But I don't want to talk over anybody.
Yeah.
All right, work.
You kind of have to.
I'm gonna let you, bro. Honestly, I think when Weevil and Marco do meet, he's in for a shock. Like, oh shit! Like this is like maybe this is a bad idea. Like I think Marco's gonna be like whatever you thought was the plan, you're wrong.
I think Marco may convert him. Marco may accept him as like one of his children. And say Whitebeard would have accepted him.
And everyone's gonna freak out when it turns out Weevil's only like 8 years old.
Now I'm picturing Marco and Weevil
around though, like taking out Whitebeard commanders and stuff. So
he's gotta be like 30.
Not the actual commanders. He was taking out the
not the really strong
allies.
He just needs some guidance.
My point
exactly.
Marco's
being manipulated right now.
Like hug it out. I don't know if I'll.
Marco has glasses now. He can
Weevil is one of my favorite mechs in One Piece.
Marco's got glasses.
He has glasses.
All right, so we got a donation from Brandon Davis. All right, Roger, this is time for you to stand on your pedestal. How can Oda realistically wrap up the series with all that he set up with just over 100 volumes left in One Piece in his recent interview?
There is absolutely no way, and I just want to say, why you always lying? Why you always lying?
True. That's such a vague statement.
Stop lying.
Guys,
that over 100.
Over 100. It could be 199.
Yeah, it could be 150, 140.
Morj wanna jump in. DRIZZT and Morj wanna jump in, so I'm gonna leave here.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, boys. Appreciate the
congratulations, 1,000 plus subs, my dude. Congrats.
Congratulations, man.
Roger, we're having on some time, all right?
Hey, you got it.
Oh, yeah. You get now. Absolutely, bro.
All right.
He's like, yo, I wasn't sure before, but you got me there. I want to have you back.
I've tagged you multiple times, and you just don't reply, so.
Wow. The real shit comes out.
Over here.
Yeah, peace out, boys. Peace out.
See you, man.
Nice to meet you.
Damn, I just got exposed live on stream. That's crazy, dude.
You give the man a shout out and he's exposed you like this.
Oh, that's wild, man. Yo, everybody who's here, go on sub real quick. No, just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't actually do that. Don't.
Yeah. Now they're gonna do that. And
no, please don't. We'll do that.
I will say one thing, honestly, maybe not to be like a party pooper or anything, but because I was talking to DRIZZT about this before a few days ago, and Oda may not have the same motivation anymore now that Kishimoto's done. He said it before. Kishimoto ending Naruto that was his competition.
And he has new motivation, Cole. He talks about his new motivation in Horikoshi.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it.
I'm not talking about like, even Promise
no respect.
Pretty big right now.
Kishimoto's coming out with a new manga though. I mean,
I feel like Oda, he sees that and he's probably thinking, shit, like Kishimoto's on his new manga. Kishimoto's my boy. I kind of want to maybe wrap this up too and get to my own. I feel like Oda may just say he's kind of maybe getting tired.
You can look at Horikoshi because Horikoshi's beating him out in
really.
Yeah.
20 something years of the same series. I'm sure Oda's gone through his dry spells at certain points. Sure. It's just like look at the Davy back fight arc. I mean, that's a prime example right there. But
I don't see any evidence that it's gonna stop anytime soon, though.
No.
Yeah.
And even in that one other interview he did, where it was like it'll be a little bit after 100 volumes or something. Be like that could be,
Nah,
that's so open.
It could go
100 volumes
Exactly.
isn't even close. If it ended up being 200,
Oda's
I wouldn't
giving
be
like
surprised.
time periods, like 5 years, this year's.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Well,
No,
just
you
wait
can't
till
go
the
by
on-screen fights.
His editor comes out and says it's 70% done. I'm like, okay, sure, all right, yeah.
I've never
Next
been
year, 65%.
I think that all of those interviews and stuff are to get people talking, to get people
of course.
like doing
It's hype.
exactly
That's what an
what
editor
we're
and
doing.
publishers are supposed to do,
Right.
you know. So yeah.
So I don't ever look like too deep into it. Like the same thing with these the stuff that just came out about Shanks. Like he's been doing this for a while, where he reveals the bounties of people. Like when he did it with Sabo.
Yeah.
You know,
the
it's
magazine.
just like, yeah. So I don't know. Just take that shit with a grain of salt and just keep it pushing.
Oh, no doubt. But you have to wonder. You just can't help but wonder.
I
mean,
feel you, but if you think that, how many volumes would you say is over 100? Is a little over 100?
I would say 120 to 140 maybe.
Yeah,
that's what
I'm feeling 122. Yeah,
I say 120 to 140. Like I would go somewhere in that range.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
All right, so we got a donation from the Wild Death, and he asked this. I think it's kind of an interesting question. I love the content from everyone, but keep it up. Question: would Zoro need a power up to improve himself right now in order to be able to fight King?
I don't think so.
No. Yes, he would.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. To beat King or to fight King?
To fight King, he does not need a power up.
Right.
To fight him, he doesn't need a power up. To beat him, yes, he definitely does.
Right.
So you think
even if we're comparing like King to like
fight him? What do you mean fight him? Like a competitive fight?
So keep in mind that if
you're a competitive fight, he definitely needs a power up.
Matt B, I just want to keep you honest here for a moment. What you're saying here is that Zoro doesn't need a power up in order to fight the strongest Yonko commander from Kaido's crew, where Luffy did.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So Zoro was stronger than Luffy.
That's what I mean. For a competitive fight, he needs a power up.
Let me answer. Luffy needed that power up to beat Katakuri. That put him over the edge to, you know. And as much as we talk about that fight and how it didn't go the way
the power up, it wasn't competitive in the beginning though.
Come on, Brago.
It's not like
he was fighting against them.
It's not like Katakuri one shot.
If you want to call that a fight,
Katakuri didn't one shot Luffy, and Luffy was able to damage Katakuri before he
after the Merienda.
No, only the Merienda.
To be honest, even after he got his power up against Katakuri, I still saw it as more of he felt like he lost through more of an ideological loss.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
even Luffy with all his power ups, he was nowhere near as powerful in brute force as Katakuri. He knocked him down once
again,
and he was down for the count.
Yes. Zoro's trying to be the world's greatest swordsman. This is the arc of a swordsman battle. He's gonna fight against Kyosuro.
Just wait till he pulls out the Sharingan he's hiding.
Or even like I
don't think Zoro's
not fighting against King. I don't see it happening, man. It's fine.
Don't you fight King at all? Really?
Okay. It's okay. You don't have to do it. He can fight a strong samurai, and I'll be happy. Just give us a fight that's competitive. That's all I want.
I don't think that could be stronger than King too.
But King has a sword, and Zoro has a sword. So
I mean,
he's wearing a sword doesn't make him a swordsman.
Yeah, Luffy's wearing a sword too. Exactly.
Yeah, so Zoro's gonna fight Luffy.
Yes.
Luffy versus Zoro round 2.
Yeah, round 2. Yeah.
Make it happen.
When people say that Zoro's not going to get a power up, are they talking about Ashura? Like, are you guys counting that?
I would, hi man.
Yo, Morj is here. All right.
Yeah, sorry, I was having some mic issues, so I think it's sorted out now.
We could hear you. Everything seems good.
All right, so introduce yourself real fast. And anybody else who's gotten in the call late and hasn't introduced, go ahead and do that now.
So I'm Morj, kind of new, first Reverie. It's kind of cool that like 6 months ago I was listening to you guys and I was like, man, kind of want to do that. Now here I am. Cool.
You do good stuff. You do good work.
Oh, thanks, man. You do.
Thank you.
All right, so Morj, we asked this at the beginning. We'll go ahead and we'll divert the stream here for just a moment. What are your thoughts about Wano right now, just in general? We talked about pretty much everything, so feel free to bring up whatever's on your mind.
Yeah, real quick. I mean, I'm loving the start of Wano. I think this is the first time we've seen Luffy get his ass kicked this early in the arc, like 15
I know, right?
Like, maybe somebody gives it a run for its money, but like, I thought it was a really strong opening to the arc. I'm loving the vibe, like just the fact that they're in Edo era Japan or whatever. Like, sometimes it's just cool seeing the location that they're traveling around, the samurai vibe, all that. I can't really tell what direction everything's going at the moment because I don't even know if things are going to end at the Fire Festival or anything.
Yeah, no.
Like, I think that's personally the halfway point of the arc. Like, that's where the third act will end, and we got another 2 weeks after that. So I don't know. I'm liking Wano so far. What's the general opinion on Wano?
I mean,
we've all liked
positive. I'd say positive. Yeah.
Positive. But so far so good.
All right. So,
yeah,
so to go back to like general questions, this is sort of one that I had pinned up here, and I'm just curious what everybody thinks about this. How is Luffy winning in this arc?
Okay. All right.
Okay, let me. Can I go?
Go. Yeah, somebody else go. I gotta draw. I have to draw some sketches revolving around.
Kaido is not.
Let's do this. I have a feeling it'll involve Luffy launching his arm backward very far, so it stretches really far, and then the punch goes with maximum impact.
Look, man.
JB, you mean versus Kaido?
Honestly, what it's gonna be is he's gonna show his awakened form of Snake Man, where he grows fangs that have venom in it.
Yes. Damn you, Roger! I have to redo my sketch now.
Luffy is probably gonna deliver the final blow to Kaido, but I see this being a joint effort.
For sure.
There's no way that Luffy is 1v1ing a Yonko at all.
There's no one who thinks that Luffy's going to 1v1 Kaido? Nobody else?
There's no chance. There's no chance.
No chance? Oh, man.
No chance.
That was why we showed it in the first 20 chapters of Wano. That's not going to happen.
You just got one-shotted. Who ever predicted that Kaido would speed blitz Luffy?
Luffy has never been one-shotted in the series.
Look, I'm just saying that makes it more dramatic when he eventually 1v1s him.
Nah, man, that's too big of a jump in power.
How do you know it's too big of a jump? Because he's gonna be the strongest by the end, right?
Because you gotta understand, man, that like the Fire Festival's in a week.
Is the Fire Festival's in a week? Who says it's gonna end with the Fire Festival though?
I mean, like,
wait, Morj. Let's back it up. Let's rewind here. Let's rewind here for a moment. Morj, what exactly are you saying, Morj? So you're saying that you think that you could see Luffy versus Kaido like a week after the Fire Festival? Is that what you're saying?
I'd say so. Hawkins' initial prediction was, I see your chances of survival at like what 14% or something like that at the end of the month. So in a month's time, I view Wano as a month-long arc. I think the Fire Festival is the end of the third act, where it ends with failure.
That's very often. Wait, so Morj, to clarify, wait, time out. Morj, to clarify, you're on the team that says that there's going to be more than 3x. You think there's going to be 5?
That's what the plays are.
Yeah, that's what the plays are.
Yeah.
They're 5.
Yeah, they're 5 acts, but don't get too excited because the 4th and 5th acts in the actual Kabuki plays, they go super quick. So it's going to be 2 and 3 are going to be the big ones, and then 4 is going to be maybe like a few chapters. I think Act 5 is going to be 1 chapter because it's like a speedy resolution. Let's get done, we're done. That's how it goes.
Right. Yeah. So would Act 5 then be the final battle?
No. Act 3 is the battle. Act 3 is the climax.
Is the final battle.
And then Act 4 and Act 5. Act 4 is like the declining action in a story, and Act 5 is the super speedy resolution. That's how it actually goes in Kabuki.
All right, so regardless of how the acts play out, as far as I can tell, usually when they start out the arc with some sort of a big plan, like this is what's going to happen, this is what we're working towards, like be it in Alabasta, like we're going to take down Crocodile at Rain Base, or we're going to go get the Rebels or something like that, or Thriller Bark in their first venture into Thriller Bark, or whatever the initial, like Whole Cake Island, their assassination plot, or Dressrosa, the initial plan to take out the factory, everything, usually things go wrong. Things go wrong, and then there's a whole second part of the story where they have to adapt, and then there's a new direction that they have to go. So, like, that turned into having to go after Doflamingo at the top of the Royal Plateau. That turned into having to go after and stop the actual war once it broke out in Alabasta. Like, these things tend to happen. Things tend to go wrong. So whatever plan they initially had with the Fire Festival, I view that as, like, they're the moment of failure. So I don't think that's going to work out, and I think that we've got another 2 weeks of Wano after that.
Well, obviously the plan is going to go to shit. I don't think anybody. I don't think anybody thinks that
the question is like, what could Luffy do in those couple weeks? to make that gap that's so massive right now.
He would have to fight. He would have to fight commanders. He would have to beat commanders.
Even if he's beating a commander, the commander and the Yonko's difference is massive.
Exactly, Zoro, and that's what I'm saying. And then where does Kid come into play? Kid has a grudge against Kaido that he wants to fulfill too. That's what I'm saying. There's all of these supernovas, and you got a couple of supernova that are actually with Kaido, and we don't know we don't know their motivation, but we can all pretty much assume that they're gonna turn on Kaido, given the opportunity to, if they see that there's a chance he could go down. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think that it's probably going to be a joint effort between the supernova to defeat Kaido, and that's how he goes down. There's no way that Luffy's doing.
To my knowledge, at least
if it was any other series, if it wasn't One Piece, I would agree with that logic. But in One Piece, one of the biggest themes is that there can only be one. So lots of times there are other people who have like the same aspirations as Luffy. Like you have Wiper, who had like his entire life goal was basically to take down Enel. You had Law, whose entire life goal was to take down Doflamingo.
And
like
they both
were
were
much bigger grudges than Luffy. And yes, they do usually give some sort of token contribution in the final battle, but no matter what, Luffy is the winning trump card. It always has to come down.
You can have Luffy be the last one.
Like I said, Luffy will deliver the final blow.
Exactly.
It's not about
well, we're talking about
one-on-one here. He has to be the strongest, right? By the end of the story, he has to be the strongest.
Quick question: do you think that Doflamingo and Luffy was a one-on-one?
No. It's an ambiguous one.
I was going to say Gamma Knife was more than a token.
So my point is, like, if we haven't seen it at all post-time skip outside of, like, Cody Jones, that Luffy has not really fought anybody by himself. He hasn't fought Cracker by himself. He needed Nami's help. He didn't fight Doflamingo by himself. He needed Law's help. He didn't fight Katakuri by himself.
What about Caesar? He kind of took him out.
Oh, yeah, but Caesar, I mean, come on. Caesar was...
Are we going to even talk about Caesar?
He was still a post-time skip villain. We have to give Caesar something.
The matter is, if we're going to talk about Caesar, Caesar beat Luffy first. Let's be honest.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, that's true.
So my point is, like,
you're talking about, is Luffy going to be giving the final blow, which is, it's like 99% a team effort and then 1% Luffy effort? I'm saying like, they can do 15% then. But the final round, the big battle, it's coming down to Luffy and Kaido. Like, that's the way I view it. And I think that's what it's always been this series.
I misunderstood what you meant by 1v1.
Oh, sorry, I meant
literally fresh, both of them by themselves, one-on-one. Okay.
Well, I don't know. I'm not entirely certain that the final battle of Wano will end up with Luffy and Kaido as the final climax. I could see it leading into a future arc where either Blackbeard swoops in or, the world government shows up. I could see it not get resolved by just Luffy versus Kaido, mano a mano, and Luffy.
I mean, we just came off of Whole Cake Island, and Big Mom didn't lose.
Are we all under the consensus? Are we all under the
difference between Big Mom and Kaido here, as far as Luffy goes, Luffy never really wanted to beat Big Mom. He was like, okay, I'm going to come in here, snatch Sanji. Whereas Kaido's an actual goal for him, and I feel like he'll lose that goal. I don't think he will beat Kaido by the end of the arc. I think something else will happen, and, do
you think Kaido is going to be removed from Wano at the end of this arc? Because I feel like he has to be one way or the other.
Oh,
yeah,
I agree. For sure.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want it to be the same way as that they just, like, escaped from Big Mom. Like, Kaido has to be taken out somehow. I don't think it's going to be by Luffy directly.
No, I believe Kaido will be beaten by the end of Wano.
Yes.
But I don't think it'll be a big one-on-one against Luffy.
I think Kaido will no longer be a Yonko.
Nowadays.
The thing is,
a big theme in One Piece nowadays is the new generation overtaking the old. Right. So I feel like the Supernova Alliance, I know we talked about it to death on these Reveries, but it just makes so much sense to me because it's one of those things where the new generation has to take over, and it can't just be Luffy. It has to be the Supernovas. And
I'm not saying that the Supernovas altogether won't do anything. I'm sure they'll get somewhere and they'll do something important.
And we've at least got Supernovas here on Wano already, at least. My math is correct.
There's 7 or 8.
Won't show up, or a majority of them.
Hold on, guys. Let Nux go at this one.
Okay.
Nux, yeah, go ahead.
I'm not saying that the Supernovas won't ally up. I think that a lot of them will, and I think that the rebellion will be more than just, the samurai that they're gathering. I think a lot of Kaido subordinates, especially the Supernovas, will also, kind of team up with them. But I don't think that the grand finale is, 10 Supernovas against Kaido or whatever.
Okay. Well, you got to think, the whole purpose of Luffy and Law's alliance is to take down Kaido. And we don't know, to what extent Law's plan goes. Like, we know the original plan was to get Kaido to take out Doflamingo by taking out the Smiles and Caesar, right? But where does it go from there? Because if the end goal is to take down Kaido, obviously Law has something in mind. Which is what he needs Luffy for.
Remember, that's probably Law's main ability, which he can use to.
Law's original goal really wasn't Kaido, though. He was just using Luffy to take out Doflamingo for him.
He didn't want to fight Doflamingo directly because he didn't think he could beat him.
No,
but the end goal is still to defeat Kaido. So obviously he has some sort of.
That was what he pitched to Luffy.
Yeah, that's what he
I don't know if you know that's what his actual.
Well, why would he be going through with it though? If they're in Wano right now, why would?
Because and then everything has changed. At first, Law had no idea how they were going to get an army, and this army just fell into their lap on Zoe. So I think that Law's just going with the flow, and I actually kind of got a theory about Law and how he's going to come into play after all of this comes out.
Well, I don't know. That's not exactly how I saw what Law was doing after they beat Doflamingo. Because initially he wanted Kaido to take out Doflamingo. That didn't really work out.
Right. No,
but
his original
after he beat Doflamingo, anyone that was involved in the Dressrosa arc is gonna be on Kaido's hit list. So if he doesn't take out Kaido right now, he's toast.
Right. Yeah, like why would
exactly?
Well, he doesn't have to be the one to do it as long as Kaido is taken out.
No, I'm not saying it's him. He's gonna do everything in his power to take down Kaido in any way, because if this doesn't work out, he's a goner.
Yeah. I thoroughly believe though that, and I think you guys probably agree with this, Law is making it out of this just fine, right? Like, I've seen so many people talking about this arc being like, he's going to end with the immortality fruit, and it's like, no, man. Law is one of those characters that I truly feel is going to make it to the final arc of the series.
He's not dying.
He's making it somewhere.
I do know.
He really should die.
He should die by the end of the series, but I think he's making it out of Wano.
Basically, I do think that his two big moments, Law's two big moments in the whole series, I think, are Dressrosa and Wano. And I mean, you could go with that whole name theory, you know, that Law's name is Trafalgar, which was a battle in Spain, which is Dressrosa, and Waterloo, which is Waterloo, which is based off Napoleon.
Oh my God, I didn't even get that until just now. It makes sense.
That was like one of my only two One Piece theories I've ever made.
Why? I was like, why does he have just water in his name? I'm like, wait a second.
Because Kaido is this crazy emperor guy.
No, he's Russia. Gotcha.
Okay, fine. Wait. If Law's still alive at the end of Wano Kuni, where do you see Law's character then going from there? Like, Law wants to be in the background character.
Right. So that's why I'm saying these are his big moments. These are his two big moments in the series. I'm not saying he'll die at the end of the arc, but if he doesn't, I could very much see him becoming one of Luffy's...
Bartolomeo's crew.
Law is the perfect support at that point in time. He's Bartolome.
Basically, like, my whole point with bringing all that up is because if his original goal was just Doflamingo and not Kaido, why would he be in Wano right now? Obviously, he's going through with the plan, or he has some extra plan that involves Luffy to take down Kaido.
So that's what I'm saying.
I think that goes back to what
to devote all of his effort to beating Kaido, because he needs the probability of Kaido losing by the end of Wano to be as high as possible. If Kaido survives the end of the Wano arc, Law's toast.
So that's why I feel like both Luffy and Law are going to be the ones to fight Kaido at the end. I don't think it's going to be just Luffy. I'm like,
indebted to Kaido.
Kid too, for sure.
Oh yeah, and Kid. I forgot.
And Kid.
Yeah, and Kid. Well, if you pay attention to this graph, you can see right here that Law is going to create a room, Kid's going to create a giant metal spike, and then Luffy's going to jam it into Kaido. And then that's how
I thought that was Big Mom.
That is clearly Kaido. Clearly.
I don't know. That mustache brownie face.
That feels good.
So then it's safe to say then, after it's all said and done, Law is no longer going to be a viable competitor when it comes to finding the One Piece.
No, that's negative.
I mean, honestly, truth be told, like, maybe Kid has potential for that later on in the story, but right now,
King,
he's so many leagues ahead of the rest of Supernova. They really just don't matter at this point in time.
Well, I don't think Law's ever said
like Law will be henchman. Honestly, I mean, even because Law said himself he wanted to find the One Piece. He was a competitor. Like, it was Luffy and his peer group. But then after
the way I saw it, the biggest competitors all along were the guys with the D's in the name. I mean, and Law kind of has it.
All right, so then Law's henchman. Fucking.
But this is the thing.
That's the other issue.
King, Law has been sitting around idly by absorbing all of this information about actually how to get to the One Piece. You don't think that he's gonna do anything after that?
No.
No.
He'll be dead. He can't do anything.
I don't agree with that because
Matt, you think like he's gonna like turn on Luffy eventually? You mean, right?
Yeah, I do.
You know, I've heard this before. Like he's gonna like do some shit.
Law like owes Luffy everything. Like Luffy fulfilled his
no,
life.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't. He does not owe Luffy anything. Law saved Luffy from Marineford.
Yeah, but Luffy repaid him like 100 times over by defeating Doflamingo, which was all Law ever wanted in life. Like
that is a significant thing, I would say. Yeah.
So that's what they call
it's a life for a life. Yeah, that's what we call.
And
even.
he also saved Jinbei. He also saved Jinbei too. So
yeah, that's a life for a life. I'm not with the thing that Law owes Luffy anything.
I don't know if at this point Law owes Luffy.
I don't think Luffy would want him to owe anything because he thinks of him as a friend.
Well, Luffy doesn't want anyone to owe him anything.
Yeah, that's just how his character is.
Luffy's a big fan of freedom.
That's how Luffy is.
And now he's a slave. Poor guy.
Well, I think one of the greater themes is, man, I want to know what your opinion on this is that to propose the idea that Law may be somewhat of an antagonistic force compared to Luffy, for me, I don't agree with that based upon the nature of how I see like the nature of like the D's in general in comparison to Blackbeard. Yeah. Whereas Blackbeard seems to be the odd man out, so it kind of makes sense for like him having like that weird aura around his D initial kind of makes sense. But with Law, he seems to be mostly on Luffy's side. And I don't see that changing in the future.
Of course.
So I don't see Blackbeard as an outlier. You're saying Blackbeard's an outlier, and I just think he's a very viable competitor for, the next big ruler.
Yes, but when it comes to the D's, he stands out in terms of not having the attributes that a lot of people would associate with him, like smiling.
I'd say everybody that has the D initial has to, like, they take a stand against the world government in some way. Like, you had Saul, who started to learn about how the Marines were corrupted, but he didn't really go super far with it. Blackbeard goes really far with it.
Dragon.
Dragon as well, same kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah.
The way I view it with Blackbeard is that, like, a lot of the D's seem to represent freedom, right? Like, that's why they end up standing against the world government. With Blackbeard, it's a step further where it's not just freedom, he's chaos, right? So he wants to tear everything down. He doesn't care what sort of ends up, like, he's the worst form of a pirate.
Yeah, he's like, watch the world burn, destroy the entire government, that kind of shtick. Even Dragon just wants to get rid of the Tenryubito. He understands you can't just dismantle the world government to be sheer anarchy at that point, and that's not going to be good for anybody.
Well, I don't know if necessarily if he just wants to destroy everything, Blackbeard. It seems like everything he's done has been very meticulous towards a goal.
Well, he's amassing. I mean, he's amassing power. It's like we brought up earlier. It's exactly the same thing.
Right. He wants the One Piece. I don't think like he's needlessly destroyed anything that hasn't that did. He's working towards a very important goal that he wants. So I don't know if he's necessarily chaos in the sense that maybe you're thinking. Like he's gonna run around like Jack, destroying civilians and things like that. I don't see him like that.
Well, there's an interesting page in Marineford towards the very climax of Marineford, and it's got Akainu at the top and Blackbeard at the bottom. And to me, that was the two opposites of the two types of people in this world. So at the very top, Akainu's ranting about absolute justice, I will kill every pirate in sight. At the bottom, Blackbeard's eaten both devil fruits, and he's causing mass destruction. He's yelling, I'm going to tear it all down, I'm going to tear it all down to the ground. So to me, those are the two sides that you see in One Piece. One, which is absolute justice, which the world government represents, and then the absolute other end of this spectrum, I guess, which is
authoritarianism versus anarchy, basically.
Sorry?
Authoritarianism versus anarchy.
Yes, so I think that's what Blackbeard represents. I think Kainu represents the flip side, and maybe him now, but we have to see how that plays out. Just my thought.
How do you think that Kainu compares with the Gorosei in I'm Sama? And how is he different, better, worse?
Well, we don't really know Imu-sama's personality
of the rock. Like, he could turn into an emu, but beyond that, I don't know, man.
Does Akainu even know about Imu-sama? Like, I'm really curious.
I don't think Akainu knows about him. I wouldn't think Akainu would.
See, I think if anybody knows about him, I maybe shouldn't say this because I'm planning on doing a video. I feel like it's Doflamingo.
I feel like Doflamingo would definitely know.
Why they want to
I always imagine him like
people with ties to Mary Joy.
Let's try and do it one at a time, guys.
People with ties to Mary Joy is the only people I would say know about Aim-sama.
Yeah.
Dragon.
We know.
Possibly Dragon. Possibly.
We know the Gorosei, obviously. There was also some messenger in Im-sama's room, so I'm assuming he has a very select group of like private assistants or guards or whatever. And
probably 1 second, guys. JB, is your mic off the fritz?
I saw that in the comments. There's some
everything. I thought it was me at first, but I didn't hear anything.
Everything sounds fine on our
Boy's
end.
mic?
Yeah. Is it me? Like,
I don't know.
What are you guys talking about? First of all, I have no idea.
People are saying it sounds like a vacuum or a fan in the background, like some sort of distortion.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I don't.
I don't
do
know.
they still hear it?
Yeah, that's the thing. It sounds
fine to me. So
it sounds fine here. Let me try muting my mic. I don't know. Maybe.
No. All right. Well, I guess if you guys still hear it, and we can figure out who it's coming from, then.
I guess, but yeah.
All right. So.
Yeah, your stream sounds fine to me, honestly.
Yeah, everything sounds fine.
I don't hear anything.
I don't know what was going on. It's fixed now, so I guess we're good.
Fixed. Okay, good then. Yeah.
What do you guys?
Okay.
What do you guys think about Vegapunk?
Oh, yeah, there we go. That's the good stuff.
So the thing about One Piece is there's kind of 3 types of powers as far as power levels or power scaling, and that's really the core of Luffy's crew. It's like you got Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro. Luffy being the devil fruit, that's the fantasy type. Then you got Zoro, who's just without a devil fruit, and then you have Sanji, who now has a raid suit, and that's the technological side. So I was always interested in the whole technological aspect of One Piece.
That's the great thing about it, because it's not like it takes place in this weird world where it's like, yeah, you have like flintlock pistols, but you also have like, flying shoes.
And Helmeppo has the greatest contraption.
The hammer gun!
Oh my god, that thing could take down
the Radical
anything.
Bean Boys.
That thing could level Kaido in one hit.
Nipple lights, everything.
The only way to get out of the bird cage, Helmeppo's hammer gun.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work on the nipple light technology right now. I'm still still out.
Oh god, no.
Oh no, that's already happening. I have a little
Incoming
workshop
cringe.
downstairs. Yeah.
Yo, Matt B, I know that you, for the longest time, were a proponent, and a lot of people were, of Vegapunk being a revolutionary. But ever since the Reverie hit, I think this idea has taken somewhat of a hit. Do you still believe in that?
Yeah, I do.
Well, the idea would be something like
it's taking a hit at all.
Well, okay, well then I think there's an addendum you can add on to that to make it make sense.
Why do you think it's taking a hit?
When Sabo and commanders were going after Kuma, they mentioned nothing about Vegapunk being the one to be able to save him. They didn't know if there was a cure. If Vegapunk was working this entire time for the Revolutionary Army, why would they not contact him first or have the knowledge what they could do beforehand?
Well, see, because I think I think that Dragon is just telling so the plan. The reason why I think that Vegapunk is a part of the Revolutionary Army. I don't think that he was always a part of the Revolutionary Army. I think that a relationship between Kuma and Vegapunk developed.
Yeah.
And Kuma they kind of found out that Vegapunk was being kept by the world government because look, he got captured with Judge, and Judge was released probably because of royal ties and things of that nature. But Vegapunk, they kept him for whatever reason. And it's up for us to speculate. So I'm assuming that Vegapunk is being kept of his own free will, and they're using him, to further their research, and because he's so smart. So Dragon has to kind of keep everyone out of the loop, so to say, about this plan, because I
kind of like deceive your allies to deceive your enemies.
I don't know.
Yeah.
How would you explain?
Wait a second. Let me finish. Let me finish.
No, fuck you, Matt.
So I think that there's essentially going to be like an Order 66 kind of fashion thing happening. Because look, so if Dragon comes into the Reverie, obviously he's going to be in front of all of these strong people. He's going to need something to get out of there. He's going to need something that just makes the world government like, oh shit, like we dropped the ball on this, guys. So if there's an Order 66 fashion, the only person that would be able to initiate that, Kuma and Vegapunk.
Right.
Well, you keep Vegapunk out of the limelight, and you don't go after Vegapunk, because if you go after Vegapunk, then that's going to raise questions from the Gorosei, from the people involved in the world government. Why do the revolutionaries want to go after Vegapunk? Why are they chasing after him? They know why they want to get after Kuma, because Kuma was a former revolutionary.
Yeah.
So if you just keep that shrouded in mystery and you reveal that at the last second, at the last dying second, okay, Order 66, all the pacifistas turn on the world government.
Oh my god,
exactly.
That would be so freaking cool.
I'm telling you, we've been talking about this for a while, me and Matt, about this possibility, and I 100% agree. I mean, even during the war, Eva-chan, was talking about Kuma. Is like, why would you, do this willingly? Like, there's something wrong here.
Yeah,
So there has to be some kind of plan.
And I mean, even if you look at what's happened so far with Frankie, though, because I think Frankie looking up to Vegapunk's different inventions and taking after Vegapunk, I think it'd be kind of strange for Vegapunk to then turn out to actually be this bad character.
Well, I'm not saying he's bad, but there's a difference between being bad and then being a part of the Revolutionary Army.
Let me
I still
say
think
one
it's
more
possible,
thing.
but I want explanations for a few things in particular.
Let me say one more thing about Vegapunk or about Kuma.
Sure, go ahead.
If you like, if we look at Kuma, right, the only person that I would say is arguably on Kuma's level, out of the revolutionary commanders that we've seen thus far. I know that we haven't seen Karasu and the other ones, but the only one that I can put on his level is Sabo. Okay,
yeah, right.
So if you give up someone as strong as Kuma, as powerful as him, and there's we, as far as we can see, we don't see that Dragon gained anything from doing something like that right now. So whether the gain comes from, comes 10 years later or it's an immediate gain, there has to be something that he gets from giving up something like Kuma.
Right.
All right, then in your head canon, Matt, where do you fit these two things? One, Kuma's backstory with the Sorbet Kingdom, and two, the fact that Vegapunk supposedly created a new whatever that would get rid of the warlord system. Is that still Order 66, or is that just the regular pacifistas?
No, I don't. I think Order 66 is a completely secret mission between Dragon, Kuma, and Vegapunk. I think that they are the only three people that know what's going to happen. As far as Kuma's backstory, I don't.
Treason, then.
I don't really.
I mean, he could have been part of the Sorbet Kingdom and then joined the Revolutionaries. I mean, it's just
well, the impression that I got from Kuma's backstory is that he was kind of forced into this to protect something.
Look, Vegapunk's actions are very mysterious. Like, why would he program, like, his last thing to program into Kuma was protecting the Straw Hat ship?
Yeah,
exactly.
Why would he do that?
And also, just to assume, like, Kuma's gone forever and his personalities, I don't think that's, like, removed forever. There has to be a way to, like, get his memories back or something,
Pudding?
Oda could
no, not like that. But like Vegapunk would have programmed. He would have programmed his past, memories and his personality.
Vegapunk's a pretty decent person from his history.
Exactly.
Just for everyone in the chat who doesn't know what Order 66 is.
Yeah, it's
when they turned on all the Jedi and killed them all. That's what they're saying.
Execute
those who
Order.
don't know.
So the Alexa in this analogy would be
initiate Order 66.
Yeah, so the government control.
So grander narrative. What does Vegapunk do? Because we know that in an interview or in some release of information, Oda said that Vegapunk would be the one to release all the information, the secrets of the Devil Fruit to the Straw Hats. So where do you see that coming into the play?
I think you just answered your own question, right? I mean,
I know, but like when and how?
Yeah. Oh, I think at the end of all of this, don't you think? I feel like it would be at the end of all
It's not so easy to get to Vegapunk because, I mean, how many situations can you create where the Straw Hats reasonably just walk upon or stumble upon Vegapunk? You can either have,
I think that the way the Straw Hats are going to get into Mary Joy eventually is, the prophecy that Luffy's supposed to destroy Fishman Island?
Yeah.
So I can see them making a really massive explosion and
they destroy the Red Line.
And Fishman Island itself gets shot up because it's directly below the Holy Thingo. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So, and it kind of launches itself in there and blows it to bits.
Catapult.
And they're right in the middle of everything. The fishmen get to live on land like they always dreamed. He actually blew up the island down there. I don't know. I think that's a pretty.
That'd be great.
That's kind of like end game stuff for me. Whereas I kind of picture if you're going to discover like the truth of the world, I think Vegapunk and stuff might come a little bit before that because it depends. I think we all agree that Dragon might die within the narrative. I think they both have to meet, and if Vegapunk was going to meet the Strats at any point in time, and Vegapunk is a revolutionary, that point in time might be where we figure that stuff out.
I mean, look at what we were talking about earlier on the stream, though. I mean, during this stream, we were bringing up how the Revolutionaries and Vegapunk might show up at Wano country. Yep. That is reasonably close to where we are right now in the story. So we could see this.
Is Vegapunk coming in Wano? I just want to get the consensus. Do people believe it's even possible Vegapunk finds his way into Wano?
Well, no, Orochi wanted Vegapunk.
Yeah, Orochi already created a path for that
exactly.
to happen.
Well, so going back to what Morj said earlier about this arc potentially taking a lot longer than we think, maybe an entire month, then you could have time for another deal, trading actually Vegapunk for these weapons. Which brings up another question in its entirety of why the world government needs Kaido's weapons. What's special about them? But I mean, I could really see that.
Seastone's big. They've got Seastone, and I'd say we're just one cutscene away from like Smoker and Tashigi's storyline, where they're going to see
totally, yeah.
So like, I think that's happening in the Wano arc at some point. So I could definitely see something happening where that storyline gets brought into Wano.
Oh yeah,
if it's a long arc, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, this one might be longer than Dressrosa. It's possible.
Dude, Dressrosa.
This one has a reason to be longer than Dressrosa.
What do you think with Smoker and Tashigi happening? I want to see more from them. What do you think is going to happen with them?
Smoker definitely needs a fucking power boost to start
Smoker.
it off.
My guy, man.
Smoker better have been training his ass off for the way that he got his ass.
We were just making fun of this when I was recording.
Me and Nux were talking about this. How we remember back at Logtown when it's like Smoker is invincible. You can't touch him because he's made of smoke, and we didn't know about Logi as yet. And it's like,
now imagine how the One Piece community would act when, oh my God, there's this untouchable character. What are you gonna do?
Broken.
Broken. Yeah, but
unless one wants to shift it from Smoker to Kobe, which he could do.
Oh,
I mean, because if Kobe is supposed to be like Luffy's marine rival, then and we've seen Kobe have the highest growth rate among all the characters that are like among like Luffy's age group, if you would, then I don't see why we can't have like, let's see, a Kobe who's just as strong, maybe even stronger.
Jorshe, is that you?
No, trust me, bro. Trust me, bro.
Whoa.
Trust me, bro.
Shout out to George.
I'm just saying, like, if not now, well, if not, like, let's say right after Wano Kuni, then when will Kobe ever be considered or even seen as like Luffy's marine adversary?
I agree with you, King.
Luffy's marine adversary is Akainu. Why does he need a friendly marine adversary?
Nah, his marine adversary. Nah, because I don't think Luffy's gonna fight Akainu.
Luffy sees Akainu kind of like he sees Blackbeard-ish.
I think it's Stone. I think that's one of the two matchups that has to happen in the series. Luffy has a star.
I think Sabo. Yeah,
Luffy is going to fight Akainu at some point.
Like Emu could be that one guy to for Luffy to fight at the end of the story, because Emu will probably embody all the things that are like kind of like anti like Will of D and anti Luffy. So like Luffy freaks out in the ocean, but you have Emu who's kind of like the king of the world, if you sense, like even like the king of the gods. So Emu can be like the one who fights at the end of the story, kind of like some weird Kaguya thing.
And then Buggy gets the jump on him. And
but then when you have Sabo or Dragon, I mean, they're easily viable options against Akainu, honestly.
I would say Sabo over Dragon.
Sabo makes the most sense in my personal opinion.
That's kind of, and Ace. It's a combination of Sabo fandom and Ace fandom, and people just want to see that fire fruit get the revenge on Akainu. I think symbolically what Akainu represents in the story means it's way more like.
How do you feel about how do you feel about Garp getting in on some of that action?
Oh, Garp. I don't know how Garp fits into any of this.
I mean, like,
Garp's old.
I know. Yeah. I'm not saying he would win, but he might. You know,
if you ask me, I just think that some of these Marines like Sengoku and Garp, Kobe, maybe Smoker, Tashigi, they're just gonna find their way onto the opposite team at some point in the story, and that's what.
This thing goes another few hundred chapters, and at that point, Sengoku is fighting against Garp in like Chinese checkers or something.
I want to see that now.
I think what King was saying as far as like Kobe becoming that rival, so to say, or putting him back in the story, I think that it needs to happen like in Wano. So like if the Marines, which it's definitely being alluded to that the Marines are going to come to Wano, I think that Kobe definitely needs to be a part of that fleet. Whatever comes to Wano, he needs to be there. He needs to be like.
Not to step away from the stuff with Wano though, real quick, because somebody brought up Garp. I do think it's interesting because we haven't really talked about this. Do you think there will be a reunion between Garp and Dragon? Because I kind of feel like there has to be.
I need to see that. Like,
yes, please.
Yeah,
come on.
I need to see Dragon do anything.
Says, "Garp, join my side," and Garp says, "Who are you, Sonny?"
It's just like it's a whole section of their like it's super awkward like father and son time. Like, hi son.
We have to find out what divided them.
It'd be so funny to see Garp give Dragon the Luffy treatment.
And then, of course, that'll turn to Luffy's mom, probably. And then
yeah,
we'll
because we
finally
have to find out.
Yeah,
we got to find out about that.
Sure.
What about Dragon's mom, dude? I want to know about Dragon's mom.
Bella Betty's Luffy's mom, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's over, bro. Like, it's
Bella
over.
Betty.
Bello Betty is Luffy's mom, and Kokoro is Dragon's mom. That pretty much syncs us up to where we need to be. Yeah, but wherever Kobe's going to show up, though, he needs to bring Rebecca. That's going to be set.
Do you think Kobe will ever at any point actually seriously fight Luffy, or is since like One Piece kind of repeats itself, is he doomed to follow the exact same pattern as before, and the next time he meets Luffy just one-shots him again anyway?
Look, I mean, I
hope he doesn't get another one.
First of all, I disagree with that interpretation. Second of all, I kind of agree with you. But so when things repeat, quote unquote, Oda changes very specific things.
Right,
yeah. Look at like there's parallels between Alabasta and Dressrosa, but they're not mirror images.
One of those things that seems likely that he would change is the winner of that fight, or it's a possibility in this case.
Yeah, it's possible.
I mean,
you think so?
Like, he was already.
If it's EOS, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, Luffy's got an incredible power boost lately, and he was already stronger than Kobe by a lot. So I can't see Kobe.
Kobe has the goggles, to be fair.
Well, JB, you also said that a lot of the Marines would also find their way onto the other side. Yeah, Kobe, who we see as kind of like a good person.
Yeah, this would be like EOS, sort of like a sparring match, like a prelude, or no, that's the wrong word. The end at the end of the story. Epilogue. Thank you.
You got it.
All right, so we got some donations that we need to cover, and one brings up Komurasaki and Soki and Hayuri. What do you guys think? This is side note. This is from scroll up. That awkward moment where you can't find it.
On your glasses, old man.
Hey, we talked about this earlier.
I'm the old man.
Right? We all kind of agree. Hiyori Komurasaki.
Yeah. Pronunciation problem. Silas Hawkberg. All right. So yeah, thoughts on Komurasaki and Hayuri and Soki.
How can you say it as Hayori?
How do you pronounce it?
It's Hiyori.
Yeah,
well,
I thought the name.
I got that American pronunciation.
Tomato, man.
Just roll with it.
Think that Wano, I think Wano has ties to the Void Century.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I think Toki certainly does, probably.
Like crazy ties.
Well, I mean, Kaido is a poneglyph. Can't forget about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's no other problem. He's a poneglyph that just happens to be a dragon that just happens to have a human fruit.
Exactly. He's the dragon with the Oni fruit. Thank you,
yeah, just mix it all together.
Exactly.
So I guess what I was kind of getting at is, do you guys think that Komurasaki is Hiyori?
I'd say that's pretty.
Yes,
that's pretty strong. Now, her intention, on the other hand, that could be viewed in a few ways. It can either be viewed that her and Kyoshiro are just like trying to take out Orochi for their own devices, or she's just, I'm going to get really close to him and then I'm just going to stab him in the back for what he did to the whole country.
Right.
Yeah. But I'm sure it's pretty. Yeah. To me, it's pretty clear that she is.
Especially because the end of the Komurasaki chapter was the stuff with Momo talking to the one other person that everybody was like, maybe this is Hiyori, set from the future, and he specifically is like, I need to see my sister again. Yeah. So I think that's probably going to be what ends up.
That's like Oda bashing us over the head with a hammer.
Exactly.
I mean, at this point, it's either a red herring or it's right.
Yeah. Well, you can't rule that. You can't rule that out. But I'm just gonna, because it would flow so well, in my opinion. I'm just gonna roll with it right now. But we'll see.
I got fooled by pudding and never again. All right.
We all got fooled by pudding. All right.
Evil females, okay? They're not evil. They'll never be evil. All right. They're
pudding was obvious as fuck, bro. Come on now.
Sorry.
There's a really weird theory that was on Reddit earlier, which was like Komurasaki is witching our boy. If you believe that like she's actually good and she's kind of just taking money from people and like giving it back.
That's one way.
That's a nice idea.
Yeah. Really quick correction, by the way. Pudding was not evil. She was tsundere. There is a huge difference there. So.
I think she was pretty evil.
No, just there's different levels of tsundere. There's levels.
Call what she is. A straight up thought, bro. That's all she.
Cole, I'm really honest. This man Cole is already saying what I said on my streams. Komurasaki.
Oh my god.
Yo, take out your red lightsabers, join the dark side. You know what it is. Like, fuck, be gone. Like, what the fuck?
Man,
hold on, real quick too. Folks are noticing that, and potentially Stussy's there. Like, I was kind of looking at one of the girls.
No, absolutely not. Just stop while you're ahead. No.
I think it's an honest God made shit on because Cypher Pole Agent Zero is already there. I don't see why they can't have agents already embedded with the geisha. Like I don't see why it's an issue at all. Like that could be the case as well.
I hate arguing against this because it kind of does a disservice to One Piece, but a lot of the females just look really similar. And
I mean, I'll give it to you.
Unless like Big Mom or like like those kind of freaks.
Yeah, Big Mom and like Kokoro have very
either you're sexy or like your neck is like fused to your body and it's like
neck.
Neck yak.
All right.
Straight up.
Oh man.
You see his neck, bro?
Yeah, but people add that in.
It does have a big neck.
It's very striking with the female designs. It's because every single arc, Oda will introduce a character that has that design that's like like it was Viola and Dressrosa, Rebecca as well. And then in Totland, it was Pudding, and now it's Komurasaki here in Wano. And it does get kind of jarring because it's like, it's the same basic.
And then Pudding too, but then Pudding kind of got shaky for a second because the whole age thing was wait a minute. Oh, how old is she?
That was a little bit weird because we're like, because Flampe got revealed and they're like, wait, it's a little bit obscure. Like, is Pudding like 14?
Yeah, and then I had to change that because
yikes.
Yeah, really like Silgar show. Goddamn.
The biggest issue I think with the idea that Stussy is in Wano already is we got to see her in the Reverie.
Yeah.
So she would have to be in two places at once or travel. It just
but that was like 4 days ago.
They just got attacked.
Yeah, the Reverie was a few days ago.
Yeah, she has the teleportation fruit. That hasn't been a thing yet. Let's just.
What do you guys think of those the Cypher Pole agents that came to talk to Orochi? Because I saw a bunch of people saying maybe Kumadori is one of them, considering the whole Kabuki vibe of that character. They maybe because we've seen the other CP9 agents, and so many of them are now part of CP0.
I hope not.
Yeah, I don't think it's Kumadori.
The return of Lucci.
Getting promoted. Their standards must be shit.
It makes sense to include. Yeah, it makes sense to bring back Lucci and Kaku. Not so much Spondum, but I mean it's cool. You get to see Spondum getting bossed around by Lucci, but Ka.
I mean, the reason
you talking real slow, I don't want to see him back. Just keep it like him, like whatever his name is, like
Fukuro can die in a fire.
Fukuro is awesome.
Yeah, I never want to see Fukuro again.
How about Jabra? Jabra is pretty cool.
I like Jabra. He was cool. Yeah.
Oh, Jabra's dope. Yeah.
Yo, Cole, why is Jabra not?
Yo,
we don't know.
My girl. What's her face?
Khalifa.
Yeah, fishnets. Bring her back.
Mia Khalifa, man.
Bring her back. Where's she at? Come on.
What about Wansei though? He wasn't CP9, he was CP7, but Wansei.
Yeah, 7. Yeah. No, that's not happening. Like, they can't all be careful. They can all be 9.
Wansei, bro.
I think we saw him in Dressrosa with Lucci, right?
Yeah, he appears as like a cameo with everybody in Film Gold, which is funny. It's just because you get to see so many weird cameos in that movie.
Okay, so speaking of the Reverie thing, so right now we know what's going on there, right? So Sabo and Lindbergh and Karasu, they're going up against Fujitora, Green Bull, and company. CP0 should be there too as well, engaged in combat. Oda said during this year they're going to probably there's going to be a bigger event at the Reverie. Now that could entail a lot of things, but I'm hoping to see something akin to what we saw like in 2017, where there was like this photo, like the sketch of like Mary Jo's burning, like the house is burning, and it was like a shadowy figure like watching as the entire area burns. So I wonder if, because we don't see Dragon, but folks say the Dragon is there because when they were going up the escalator, there was like a wind effect, and that was being noted that. So Dragon could be there and Logan form as like a wind. But potentially speaking, if Morley and Karasu and Sabo and whatnot are good enough to where the entire palace area is is going to burn down, there could be a major shift from like a global standpoint when news that spreads. Now, I'm not saying that country's going to leave the world government, but this could start like the catalyst for EOS on like a global scale.
Yeah. To clarify though to people in the chat, I'm pretty sure the sketch you're talking about was the concept art for World Seeker, right?
Right.
Yeah,
right. Exactly. Yeah. But then that never happened. So I'm wondering where the shift here. Yeah. So I'm wondering, is there going to be a change there where this could actually apply to the manga itself in which reform? Because again, Oda said something big is going to happen in Reverie, and then now should be the time to drag to make his move. I know that most of the girls are back in Kamabaka for some reason, whatever it is, but there could be something going on where we should say the world should take note that something happened at the Reverie, and like aside from just the whole Shichibukai system being abolished, and then we can move on to like maybe potentially some nations, because I know some folks say, okay, Fisherman Island's going to probably join under Strat flag, and they'll announce that probably. I know some folks, because you have Sai, like there could be a case here where Kanokuni, they may feel some tension as well. Maybe Drum Island because of Chopper. Like there could be this whole massive ship on like a global scale to where we start realizing, okay, like the world government as a whole, this system has major issues, and either we investigate that or we kind of take a step back from them. Potentially speaking.
I think that the Reverie is going to serve a purpose and doing just that. And I think that I think what the most important part of that is going to be is the kings realizing that the Gorosei are actually tyrannical and corrupt. How they're going to do so. How they're going to do so is because the Cobra, not only Cobra, but then you got King Riku there, and then you also have members of the Prudence Kingdom.
Isabello II.
Yeah, Isabello. You have all of these people that just ran into Luffy. They saw what the Reign of Terror, Shichibukai could do, and they probably have questions as far as like, why did the government allow this? So I think that Dragon's role, aside from going there to declare war, I think that he's also going to try to sway some of the kings to join his side, for the simple fact of the kings are bad. And then just the last little thing to help me with this is we saw what the Gorosei did to Professor Clover. Whenever he was talking about the poneglyphs.
Right.
We have no idea what King Cobra knows and just how much he's gonna, try to get out of the Gorosei. But I can see them getting agitated by his questions and by his inquiry, and they would, kind of try to kill him, and then that's when Dragon's gonna come through with the save.
Yeah, and then just to piggyback on Matt's point right there, remember how when we had the introduction of the commanders of the Revolutionary Army, we saw Pinkbeard and company, like they were creating chaos and whatnot. And then we see how the Rev themselves were able to like stabilize this island that was, under chaos by Pinkbeard, but also they mentioned how they're being taxed fairly heavily by the world government. And that's the reason why they were poor. So there's other islands around the entire world that are being taxed on a regular basis by, we even see that in the Goa Kingdom like years ago with Luffy Company. We see how like, there were so many major shifts where you have the trash area, then there's a giant wall to separate the trash area from where the wealthy live. So there's major, I feel like this is going to start being the case where like you're going to see like probably like the most like disenfranchised say like we're hearing news of how things are fucked on the higher up side because of Tenryubito and the government. So we're tired of this shit because we're tired of being taxed, or we're tired of living in poverty, we're tired of having like food on the table. So again, like, this could be this major change here. So like I'm hoping that the Rev is going to start, like this is going to start kicking it off, because if not now, then when? Like seriously, like if not now, then
really quickly, what do we make of the Admirals versus the Revolutionaries clash?
It should be like a wash. Well, okay, man, not a wash.
I mean, realistically, you think
clean. Come on, bro.
Well, I mean, how much weight do you put in the clash?
I don't know. I think it's too early. We don't know shit about their power for us to say, oh, okay, well, they can't fight against an admiral.
Lindbergh invents an anti-gravity gun to use against Ish.
This is kind of like the classic One Piece clash thing where it's like, there's so many asterisks next to everything. It's like, oh, they weren't trying to yada yada. They just got away really fast.
You use more the ground. You do real tactics. You come out, do an attack. You go back on the ground. You come out, do an attack. You like repeat that for the period of days or more.
But the thing is, like, were they going there with the intention to clash with them, or did they get caught, or what is the situation regarding that? Because I mean, it made it seem as though they got caught, right? That's what you would.
Well, it made it seem like their plans got foiled with Kuma. At least that was my interpretation of it.
Exactly, but maybe them clashing with the admirals was a distraction, or something was happening. Maybe they were working with Bonnie. I don't know. Something might be.
No. Bonnie was independent. She was clearly working on her own. Dude.
I understand, but we don't know that. We don't know what happened from that point to whenever that clash happened. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
they probably had a plan in place, and Bonnie kind of like fucked it up, and then they shit. Like we kind of have to regroup ourselves.
Bonnie and the Revolutionaries though obviously have the same goal in mind, so I feel like we might as well just join up with them.
That's my point. Yeah.
Yeah.
My goal is secretly Vegapunk. Okay, so I got your attention. I gotta go.
Done.
Thank you all very much.
Have a good one, man.
Was a pleasure.
Take it easy, bro.
I appreciate it, Nux. Thanks
nice
for
to
stopping
meet
by.
the One Piece community. Honestly.
Oh no, we're fun.
As far as like, the little fandoms go for like separate anime, One Piece is definitely my favorite.
Nux, you need to. We every once a month we all go to Denny's together. It's a lovely time.
Right. Come to Anime Expo.
I've never been invited to that.
No, seriously, yeah, Nux, you should go. I might be going this year. I don't leave my house. I'm stuck in Pennsylvania. I might be journeying all the way to LA this year.
Dude, if all of you guys end up taking over my apartment for Anime Expo, this is gonna be the most wild stream of all time.
yeah, Roger. It's a party when I show up.
I'm ready. I'm ready, man.
Yeah.
I know Matt and I are gonna probably go to Japan, and oof, that's gonna.
Wait, yo, when are you going? Wait.
Oh boy, yo, that's gonna be time.
Wait. When are you going? I'm going at the end of April. Yo, I'm going in April and May. I'm gonna be there.
You can be in Japan.
Yeah, I'll be in Japan.
We're gonna be there May 7th to the 22nd.
Wait, hold up.
I'm
Really?
gonna just
shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna miss you by like a week then. Yeah.
Damn it.
That would have been fire. That would have been fire.
That would have been amazing,
So
dude.
cool if you guys would like,
Schedule for an extra week, dude. Let's.
Well, I mean, we bought our tickets early. Me and my girlfriend are going, and we're starting at the end of April, and we're going until the first week in May, and then we got to be back for Anime Central. So otherwise, I would have. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Damn.
Got to get that sponsorship money, my guy. So it's like.
Yeah, you go visit.
I feel you.
You got to do it, man.
California's got to be a thing again, Cole. You need another. You need some more brownies, dude.
Yeah, we're doing a
bro. Yo, no. Yo. Yeah, man, those weed brownies. Fuck. Yeah, that was.
We Disney. We're not talking about what happened at my house. We Disney. Don't worry about it.
All right, guys. All right, so there's been a big theory recently that we've been talking about. Is Luffy versus Zoro. Zoro might challenge him for his captaincy. In general, Luffy might need to become a better
Y'all
captain.
Are crazy.
What do you guys think about that? I'm asking for your thoughts, man.
100% chance. I agree with you.
No. Of course you do.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it has been a while.
Look, guys. Zoro is the most loyal crew member in the entire crew. I mean, everyone's loyal.
That's not defense.
For sure.
I don't think there's any reason for it.
The only thing that's going to make Zoro turn on Luffy is if he does something so egregious that Zoro has no choice but to turn on him.
So having Big Mom, being surrounded by Big Mom and Kaido in a death situation is not egregious to you?
No, because
there's a chance here that Zoro could think he's wrong, honestly. Like, keep that in mind. Because keep that in mind, Zoro could think that he's wrong. Like, he'll think that he's right because he's surrounded by Big Mom and kind of whatnot, if that actually happens. But at the same time,
he's got to be wrong.
That's who Luffy is. It's like it's a weird dynamic there where it's like Luffy has his own nature, and the Strats kind of follow that nature. Even though there's like some variations with Robin and Usopp and then Sanji, there's still Struts at the end of the day, which is why you have Sanji, attacking page 1 now because people are bitch because of him and that kind of stuff. So they'll always do that. So it's kind of like I feel like folks just really want Zoro to have his moment, which so do I. Like, don't get me wrong, but is it really going to be like he'll leave the crew?
I want to make this clear, man. I just want to make this clear. This has nothing to do with anything that I want and everything to do with what I feel as though the story is telling me. Like, for instance, when you have Zoro questioning Luffy and his decision to go after Sanji.
I have returned.
And Whole Cake Island. The scene itself makes you ask questions. Zoro's literally sitting outside of that room listening to that conversation. Luffy comes out, are you worried about Sanji? No, I'm not. Don't go there. Like, that's not the kind of thing that Zoro would typically do. It's out of character.
The implication.
He's a logical. He's a lead logical.
Leave the crew, JB, really? Come on, bro. That's not.
The way I interpreted that scene was Zoro was outside the room.
But like
Zoro and Sanji always are not. They're rivals, right? So it's not like Zoro's gonna. Yeah.
So to everyone who thinks this, like, that was in Water 7. Don't ignore everything else that happened after Water 7. And how Zoro interacts with the crew after that.
Yeah, but you can't ignore Water 7 either, right?
This is exactly. If Zoro was going to question Luffy, and his leadership, and as far as like him being pissed off of them being surrounded by Kaido and Big Mom, his perfect opportunity would have been to do so during Zoe, but he didn't.
Because he's waiting to see what comes out of it, right?
Right.
No.
Yeah,
no,
but
I doubt that.
If you put aside your fanboy for Zoro aside, if you believe in anything in regards to character continuity, the idea itself is feasible. It's not impossible. There's enough evidence that you can look at.
Even they rather Luffy company rather Wano Kuni, Zoro and Luffy, they were doing like all types of fun stuff. Zoro didn't say shit about
Exactly.
Hokage. He didn't say a damn thing. He just said, nah, like, what's that sword?
He was don't you see how some of the circumstances seem to be adding up to a certain boiling point where nothing about Whole Cake Island has been discussed so far. There have been teasings like Luffy talks about Big Mom, but there's no questioning as to what happened. Zoro and Sanji, for no reason, haven't met each other despite everyone else having met Sanji. This isn't just for a gag.
Sanji about Dressrosa, like they don't talk about other arcs.
Yes, but if this was only meant to be a gag moment where Sanji lords his bounty over Zoro, there would be no reason to forego it this long. While also having during the separation, Big Mom show up, everything that went wrong. Jinbei potentially being dead, all of these things, Pedro dying, no one's found out about it at all.
But
if Zoro found out about this, he would have questions.
Luffy. Not about Luffy, though. I think if anything, he would question Sanji.
At the end of the day, he would be pissed off at Sanji because if you remember,
Luffy followed Sanji anyway.
Sanji is a catalyst to the decisions between Luffy and Zoro because at the end of the day, regardless of whatever Sanji did, if you think it was right or wrong, is that Zoro would have a problem with it. At the end of the day, the captain is the person who's responsible.
No,
why did he have a problem with that? If something like this happened again, he would have an issue.
The captain is responsible for the actions of his crewmates, right? Sanji left for whatever reason that he did, but as far as that no longer affects the Stride crew.
Sort of.
Because
whenever he left, y'all aren't realize or y'all aren't noting the fact that that Zoro made a statement and he said Sanji was an idiot for involving himself with another Yonko while they were already trying to fight Kaido. Do y'all remember that?
He said that in
of course he said that, but he didn't leave anyway and didn't ask him when he got back. It's like if this was so important to Zoro, this would have been a pivotal thing. Hey, Luffy, you're back. What happened to Hokage Island?
It's going to happen at some point. There's so many plot lines that need to be wrapped up.
Hey, one at a time, King. Go ahead.
Okay, everybody just kind of.
The only thing I'm saying is that Zoro, Luffy, and I forgot Tama, they were just chilling on the way to meet Law. Perfect time to bring up all kind of stuff and get the 411, but they didn't do that at all. It was more so Luffy's here, whatever happened in Hokage Island happened, and the story. If they do meet Big Mom at some point later on during Wano Kuni, then they'll just again, but it probably won't be to the point where Zoro will leave the crew. I highly doubt that. Well, it would be nice. That, but I highly
doubt everything you said based on semantics, like Oda's building up to a certain point. Like there was hints of what was going to happen. Luffy's not going to go there. The first thing that happens, like, yeah, Pedro died. Sorry, Zoro. Like the Minks have to be there to learn that as well. Like all of these people have to get together. It's going to be a big moment where everyone has to be there. It's not going to happen as a separate entity, and then everyone has their own conversations.
Yeah,
like, I feel like there's a focus on this.
We're talking about like anything, like nothing. Like there was nothing other than you're here.
We know something's going to come up because there are opponents that we need to find out. Pedro needs to be talked about.
I get what you're saying, DRIZZT. It's like, they have to have a moment where they all get together. Like there was that scene.
The biggest thing for me is the moment in which Sanji attacked Luffy. That is the direct quote what Zoro would not tolerate back in Water 7 and Usopp and Luffy's fight, right? And so until that gets brought up, I'm waiting to see what happens.
I don't think that they're going to bring it up.
But they solved their beef.
I think that we're waiting for nothing, or I think that you're waiting for nothing essentially because it's not gonna be brought up because they are like that was between Luffy and Sanji. I think the most of Zoro questioning Luffy or questioning like him going to Whole Cake Island was outside of the room whenever he was eavesdropping on the conversation and he saw Luffy's resolve and then he was like, okay, cool, you're the captain, go do your thing. And then Luffy goes and he does his thing. And yes, it would be nice if they revisited that and then you had Nami tell Zoro, yo, Zoro, Sanji actually attacked Luffy and things of that nature. But for the simple fact of it complicating what the Straw Hats already have right now even more because it was already resolved. It's like bringing Zoro into a problem and just recreating the problem all over.
It adds to the story. It continues going in a particular direction.
Can we clear up? There's two things here. So one, do you actually believe that this is the direction that the story is set up to go? And 2, do you think it's just that it would be not consistent with character?
Look, Zoro bringing up all the stuff about the Yonko and the conflict between them and him being stupid for going after one is mainly just for him to showcase that he's kind of the voice of reason.
So let's ignore what it is that he said, and it no longer applies.
No, it absolutely makes sense. Look,
different context.
No, there could be a conflict. That's fine, but will he leave the crew?
It showcases that he's the second.
So let's start off with our expectations lowered a little bit, right? If you don't buy him leaving the crew, you have to I think at least agree that there's something that will come of this knowledge being revealed.
I would say yes.
Okay, well, I would say if this is going to happen,
that's it. That's all you
get. If this is going to happen, I'm going to go back to something we brought up earlier with the Shutenmaru fight. Because Shutenmaru sort of faced a similar situation with the stuff with Oden. He felt like his comrades betrayed him for leaving for all this time. And so he doesn't really necessarily agree with what their initial plan was. Meanwhile, if this drama does come up, what happened with Whole Cake Island, and Zoro does leave, and then that ends up happening before the confrontation with Shutenmaru, it could be where Zoro and Shutenmaru maybe don't even fight each other, but they understand each other because of each other's situations.
You really see Zoro abandoning the Straw Hats right before?
No, I personally, I want to throw out there, I don't agree with this at all. I don't think he's going to leave the crew. I think if anything, there'll be a fight between Zoro and Sanji. But if it's going to happen, it would happen at that point.
I will say this. I will give you this. I'll give you this. Okay, maybe this might be building up to something later down the road. I don't think it's going to be coming to a head.
The most that I can see with this happening, as far as Zoro addressing the situation, is like, let's say they run into Big Mom and Wano, or one of Big Mom's commanders. I think it's gonna be one of those like one of those funny moments. Zoro's gonna look at Luffy and be like, "Yo, what the hell? You brought her all the way here?" I think it's gonna be something along the lines of that, and that's it. And then they're just gonna be like, "Yo, let's go, let's handle business. Let's go fight. Let's do what we got to do." Because at the end of the day, they've already come to terms with the fact that they have to fight all of these Yonko. They have to fight Big. They have to fight Big Mom.
That is just straight not factual, man. Because Zoro told Luffy. No. Zoro told Luffy before they even left to go to Whole Cake Island, "Don't go there because we're not prepared. We're not ready to deal with Big Mom and Kaido at the same time."
The plan is to do all.
Zoro was okay with it,
and now that reality is here.
Issue with that at the point that Luffy was leaving Zoro. In fact, he was in pretty good spirits at the point that Luffy was leaving. So, I don't understand why.
There was
there was no. He was good.
Have a nice trip, Luffy.
Zoro was more mad.
I brought this up the other day, but Nami and Usopp and Chopper never agree with Luffy. They're not leaving the crew.
See,
because you disagree with the captain doesn't mean
Zoro was never mad.
It depends
at
on the
Luffy.
character.
He was more mad at Sanji that Sanji involved that Sanji left to actually go to the Big Mom Pirates. He wasn't mad at Luffy at all.
So the big thing, the big thing was
out
Zoro.
How Sanji treated Luffy, and Zoro knows about this. Zoro will have an issue regardless of whether or not you think it's right.
Let's go one at a time.
Okay. Guys, it's getting
one at a time.
It's starting to peak now.
All right, here's the thing, right? You guys got to remember that when the time skip happened, almost none of the Straw Hats talked about what they did for 2 whole years to each other. And you honestly think that they're just going to be like, "Oh, hey, this is what happened in Whole Cake."
I did.
Maybe a couple lines of dialogue.
I hated that.
Yeah, but yes, because the plot lines need to be resolved, so it's obvious that they'll come up at some point.
Yeah, so if Luffy fought Sanji off screen, we would still expect to see that be revealed to the crew, similar to.
Well, but they settled their beef. Here. Like, it's not relevant.
They settled the beef, and Sanji apologized.
Luffy is quick to forgive, and he made that very clear when Usopp left as well. He didn't need an apology. The person who needed the apology was Zoro. So Zoro and Luffy's standards are different, and that is critical to understanding their.
Zoro wanted Usopp to apologize. Zoro wasn't the one that needed the apology.
Zoro didn't need the apology.
He wanted the apology for Luffy.
Yes, he told Luffy,
if you ever disrespect yourself and still want to claim to be my captain, I will leave the crew.
Okay, how did Luffy
apologize?
It's
not about saying sorry. It's about
okay, guys. Do you think it might be prudent to maybe move on from the topic at this point? I'm just saying we've been on this for about. I think that we got the Zoro Luffy thing.
All right,
at
so
this point. I mean,
so we're sitting at 3 hours right now. This has been a hell of a stream. This has been so good.
Yeah.
We sat at nearly 6,000 viewers for I think almost the entirety of it. All
that is a lot.
All right.
I think we may have moved down to 5,000, but it's ridiculous, guys. I think there's a good topic to end it off. Obviously, we don't agree, and that's fine. It's not important.
It's a rough one.
We all
Can I have one more topic?
But
this is something I want to ask Morj because I think this is actually an interesting topic. It's kind of the reason I wanted to get him in here to begin with.
Yeah.
The thing I want to ask you, Morj, is are you willing to kind of part with some of your ideas? Because I know whenever we talked that you said you wanted to save some of them for future videos, but would you be willing to answer?
Yeah, let's go. It's the Reverie. What better place?
Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks, Morj. So I remember whenever me and you talked, and I think a lot of people are going to disagree with this, but I think that you have an argument that you can make as to why you believe this. But you believe that Big Mom is going to be defeated first in Wano and then Kaido. And I asked you how this could be, but you said you didn't want to give away your reasoning for like how feasible or like what would happen for this to happen. So do you want to go ahead and give like your thoughts on that?
Also, I just want to throw. Wait, before you go, Morj, I just want to throw in. You can totally stay silent on this if you want to save it for a video or something like that.
Yeah.
Don't be.
I'm just curious.
Details, because like I mean, at details you're going to headcanon like quite a bit, right? But I can give my reasoning for why I believe that Big Mom is going down before Kaido, and why I think it'll happen. So I mean, and this kind of goes back to my belief that, as you guys know, that I think Luffy is going to practically 1v1 Kaido by the end of Wano. Maybe not straight up 1v1. Maybe he'll be in not perfect condition, but something along those lines. So the simple reason, what I'm seeing right now, is that Big Mom is coming to Wano as a stepping stone. She's showing up with the deteriorating Big Mom pirates, definitely not in full strength, definitely not in full health, right? And the way I see it is that this goes all the way back to arguably the first day of the New World, or even further back, if you want to go back to Thriller Bark, where really the seeds of both the idea of Big Mom as an enemy and Kaido as an enemy were planted. Because at Thriller Bark was where we first had Kaido name drop, we had the Gecko story, we had Big Mom's Vivre card inserted, we had Lola and all that stuff. So that was back when Oda had kind of planted the ideas of the eventual versus Four Emperor saga, which we're in right now, right? So day one of the New World. Day one of the New World, we have, first of all, Luffy declaring that he's going to take down Big Mom. Very next arc, he goes to Punk Hazard and is set on the path of taking down Kaido. So those two things are set up. Very next arc, we're in Dressrosa. Luffy's trying to take down Kaido's supply chain. At the same time, Big Mom comes for, wouldn't you know, the same exact thing. She wants Caesar, Kaido wants Caesar. They're both competing influences hanging over the Straw Hat's head at this point in the story. Next arc, we're at Zou. We get two flashbacks, one of the Beast Pirates attacking Zou, one of the Big Mom Pirates attacking Zou. And then finally, at the end of Zou, we get this kind of goal, which is that, look, before you guys want to get to Rafto, you have to get the poneglyphs from these two pirates, Kaido and Big Mom. As far as I can see, these two villains have been built up in tandem so far throughout the story. Like, they've been built up side by side, hanging over the Straw Hat's head. All that Oda had to do at this
pretty
point,
much from day one of the New World, all
that Oda had to do at this point was bring those two conflicts together, because I believe that he always was building up these two villains in tandem. So all he did was have Luffy go over to Whole Cake Island first, like, we're definitely going to Wano, but first let's take the conflict over to Whole Cake Island, fuck up Big Mom's shit so bad that she gets... He's not doing anything until she gets this boy's head. Also, kind of start getting the dominoes falling with Big Mom's crew, like her empire's in a bit of disarray, some of her commanders are going down, and now bring that conflict over to the Kaido conflict, and just like that, you have this giant arc that Oda had been planning for a long time, where the two villains, Big Mom and Kaido, are going to go down. So I view the Big Mom Pirates as a bit of a stepping stone, because if you think about it, okay, let's say you don't think Zoro can take down a Yonko first mate. Well, what if he takes down Smoothie first? What if you think that Sanji can't beat, Yonko Commander? What if he takes on Snack or Perospero first? Like, I view the Big Mom Pirates as a whole, the state that they're coming in, like, everything seems to fit, to me, as a stepping stone Yonko crew before they take on the Beast Pirates. Then the final saga, of course, you're taking on a much stronger group at that point, which is like the Blackbeard Pirates.
When they amass all their fruits and everything, they got everything like full power.
Something that I predicted Big Mom going to Wano like a while back. So, like, everything to me is going the way that I thought it would go. I still think that the Big Mom Pirates are essentially stepping stone crew to the Beast Pirates.
It all makes sense. Yeah, it all makes sense in terms of story, but the glaring issue that everyone's looking at is
power scaling, right?
How it makes sense.
Yeah. Well, so the
there's also another glaring issue.
Well, so
here's all I can say to that, right? So you all agree that Luffy will be the strongest or one of the strongest by the end, but people seem to get caught up in like, well, how long will that take? Like people seem to be okay with like, okay, if it happens 2 arcs, like 2 sagas from now, that's okay. If Luffy's like stronger than Kaido, stronger than Blackbeard and stuff. Why is that? Like, why do we set this arbitrary timeline that like, okay, 1 month is too short? Like, where do we get that from? Like,
because it all ends with Blackbeard, essentially.
Well, he'd have to fight Big Mom in what 4 days, and then
so if Luffy is strong enough to solo Kaido right now, and Kaido is the strongest creature, then it de-hypes the fight with Blackbeard.
Yeah, it removes Blackbeard.
Yeah. Can I respond to that? And I told
Forget about Shanks.
There's a massive issue that people really aren't addressing, and this is something that I'm concerned about, just post-time skip in general. And that's the fact that we have so many characters that most of them, or a lot of them, have to go down relatively soon. How are they going to be able to handle all of these fights, potential fights, all these situations?
Especially here in Wano, when you have,
exactly. You have all the Big Mom pirates here. You have all the Kaido's pirates and the Calamities here.
Yeah, and then the samurai. Yeah,
exactly. The samurai are here. You have Weevil possibly coming here. You have so many situations that they're going to have to deal with.
When you say it all, it almost sounds unbelievable, honestly.
Right.
How many
especially if you think about the fact that Wano's not the last arc. I mean, if all of this stuff ends up culminating at Wano country, and we still have more arcs after this, which we know there's going to be at least one dedicated to Raftel. We know there's going to be one for the world government wrap-up stuff. There'll be Elbaf. There's going to be an epilogue. I mean, there's so much still.
It also
left.
kind of removes the progression of the story if Luffy's Emperor level after Wano.
And I'm glad that Tekking brought up the Elbaf thing too, because that's my only concern with what Morj said. Because I feel like because of Big Mom's connection to Elbaf, I feel like she cannot be taken down until we get to that story arc.
All right, I mean, so we're gonna go ahead and leave it off here. We're gonna go ahead and leave it off here.
Leave it off here.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and leave it off here. It's been 3 hours.
That's good.
Get roasted. Get roasted.
7 hours.
My dad.
Nah, sorry, I don't got that stamina. But I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Roger, and King of Lightning. Hey, you can start your stream right after if you like.
No, I'm gonna go make a pizza.
Yeah, but yeah, I appreciate everybody who was able to stop in.
What kind of
this
pizza?
was a hell of a stream.
Attacking pizza.
Why you guys gotta talk over me like this?
Not easy to really.
Guys, how much I love you. Like One Piece community is so tight knit. Nah, but yeah, I really appreciate all you guys for stopping by. Like the One Piece community has something that I think that a lot of people don't have. They can try and do Reverie type things and other parts of YouTube. And I just don't think it would work.
Yeah, well, Dragon Ball tried, didn't they? And it failed. So.
The difference is that like One Piece is about crews, so we have a crew ourselves.
Exactly.
Shout out to the BDA.
But yeah.
Sure, man.
Also appreciate everybody who donated. I wasn't able to read. I wasn't able to read all the donations, which is unfortunate. There's just far too many of them.
Jobo, your stream, your chat's like, what the fuck, bro? Wait a minute. This is some weak shit right now, bro. I don't know, Joe Boy. I mean, you want some more?
No.
He doesn't have to stop.
Every
we agreed before we start. We're keeping this at 3 hours. 3 hours.
Every Reverie has whoever has the reins has the reins.
Next Reverie, man. Hey, King, take the reins. You can go for 9 hours.
I'll pass it over to my boys over at the Red Force podcast.
There you go.
Hey, Australian internet, no good. All right.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Hey, it's the same thing with me. If I ever do get like fiber optic, like really good internet, we're gonna do this like a freaking like game show and shit. Like I have a whole.
Oh my god.
Checking what's your up and down.
What?
What's your up and down on your internet? Do you know what it is?
It's not great. It's like on a good day, I have like 10 megabits upload.
That's pretty good.
10.
I have 1 megabit
on a good day. On a good day.
I've got 1 megabit upload.
On a bad day, it's like that. Yeah, it's like
that. It takes me 12 hours to upload the podcast.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This entire stream, since the stream has been live, my computer has been so slow.
1 megabit upload.
My internet does not.
That's not possible, bro. Come on now, stop. It's 2019. What do you mean 1?
I had a 0.7.
Australia is like a Western, Australia is first world, right? What the fuck, dog? Come on, 1?
No, dude, King. When I lived at my old house, dude, I had a 0.73 up.
Oh,
0.73? Is that?
Yeah, and I was able to stream just fine.
Dude, I'm telling you, there are days when it's that bad, and it takes like 5 hours to upload a video.
Yeah, I had a 2.7 down and a 0.7 up.
Yep.
What?
A 7. You have 7 up. That's awesome. I love that.
0.7. That's okay. You guys are tripping, bro.
All right, guys.
Like, what's like is it the Comcast?
Yeah, shout out to Comcast.
Yeah, it's Comcast. It's Comcast.
Spectrum.
Comcast is trash.
Appreciate everybody who joined in the Reverie. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Everybody who donated, and have a wonderful.